all of that sort of stuff. So maybe something in that vein.
Okay.
But then also, if you can just want to just double check that the stream is on this second one is good enough. And
Really? Yes. Let me
yeah, check. So see if you can check first.
okay, popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, should be fine.
Come. Is that the loudest it goes?
Yes, the mic.
It's quiet.
Not enough. The mic not picking up. No, it's not good.
Let me see on this phone as well. One sec. Yeah, that's not right.
No, no.
Slack, yeah, I'm slack. I'm just gonna try fix the audio real quick. Shalom. One sec. I might go back to see what's going on. All right, Shalom. I'm gonna start off swords by giving no praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakakadash. Right, double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone. Right, honestly, brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and then sincerity. Right, which is just double checking the audios. Seemed a bit quiet. If you let us know on the comment board how it's sounding, and then we'll come back to it. Right, but yeah, hey, with the Hebrew Israelites to come out week in week out to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom. Right, in fact, if you grab me Matthew 24:22. The downfall of this kingdom can't come quickly enough. Okay, because here it is, you've got this Edomite, right, so-called white man who's in power at the moment, right? And he wants to go around the world, professing himself to be, the savior almost, right? You can also get me transformed into an angel of light.
Yeah.
Okay. But basically, one of the things we was just, talking about behind the camera, before we turn on the camera, right, is just basically how this man's effed everything up, man. Right? We literally live in a world where people aren't having children, right? People are scared to have children, right? It's people get anxiety. You hear that, oh man, your woman's pregnant, and there are problems, right? The children are coming out sick. These young children now are demons.
Yeah.
Right? You be seeing them, you be like, man, it's just wild out here, right? Even to the point where it's just like you're kind of like, man, that it's school time's about finished. You're like, man, I'm gonna go a different route, so you don't have to bump into them gremlins, right? But if you get
Angel of Light.
if you get me this one first,
Yeah.
sure, and then that one, you can get your preset.
This is the book of Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days be shortened, should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved.
Right. So unless the Lord shortens these days, man, there's gonna be no flesh to be saved. Right. And you're basically seeing like all of the pressure that he's putting on everyone. Right. We live in a time now where it's kind of like you're gonna see more and more once again people putting off having children. Right. And that's listen to elders earlier on. It's like that's like the foundation of society. Right. Over there in Japan, they basically said like 900,000 of them. Their population decreased by 900,000 last year, right? Now that people may try and be like for this, for that, but when they ultimately look at it, you ultimately understand, right, the different policies that it ultimately goes back to this Edom, right? This sadistic capitalism that makes it incredibly difficult, right, to do anything, right? And we understand and we know through the precepts that everything that this Edomite is doing is all to come and to bring about the agenda of that MOTB, right? That mark of the beast, man. Okay, right? Because the world that you see around you, it's over, it's finished, it's finished. Right. Okay. If you got that one, or if you had something.
Yeah, read
on. Sorry, yeah, a little bit more on that. Sorry.
And except those days should be shortened, there shall be no flesh be saved.
Yep.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Yeah, so if the Lord don't come back for his elect, man, hey, we all threw out here, man. Right? What did they say? Beware of the beast, man.
Mhm.
Which that whole monologue is deep. Like the first time I properly read it, I was like, yo, this is deep, because it's true, right? Beware of the beast, man, because he'll make a desert of your home and his, right? That's why you're saying it's like here it is. He'll poison the same air that he breathes, that he breathes,
Mhm.
poison the same water that he drinks, right? Okay.
Mhm. This is the 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 14. I read in the NLT. It says, "But I am not surprised. Even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light."
Yep. So when you read that, can you read that in the KJV?
Yeah, I read that King James version, and it says 2 Corinthians 11 and 14, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light."
Right. So he's transformed himself into an angel of light. Right. He presents himself to the world as if that he's the wise one.
Mm.
Right. What's the joke that the elder always makes about how these are the high IQ individuals.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Whereas when you actually sit and observe how they are, what they do, right, they're not high IQ at all. High IQ at all.
Mhm.
And really, when you go into that whole IQ shit, right, is all ultimately stemming back to that scientific racism, man.
That's it.
Right? Because you see it, like you meet individuals where it's like they're book smart,
Mm.
right? I.e., they're just someone that can revise and they
Repeat.
can repeat, they can remember stuff, right? Same way like you get certain of these Christians, right? That was another thing we kind of half touched on
Yeah.
whilst it was the camera was off, but you get these Christians, right, that they can remember, oh yeah, but it says here and this, that, and the other, right? And they're regurgitating what they've read, but they're not moving with the spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, certain things, it's like no, you gotta put the spirit on it, right? Because certain, like even what do you call it? Even judgment and stuff like that. There's certain elements of the spirit, right? That has to be applied.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm. I got a point, Brother Shah.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about being fruitful and multiply. This is the AI overview, and it says a significant and increasing number of Americans are single,
Mhm.
with the U.S. Census Bureau reporting that 46.4% of adults were single in 2023. The trend is driven by cultural shifts
Mhm.
that destigmatize being single.
So destigmatize being single. So the point I was going to jump into is who pushed all of that stuff, right? That is the witchcraft of the Edomite, man, right? That's why that's fucking other things. I can't stand personally. I can't stand which call it, or them podcasts, man. I remember someone said, "Look, man, we need to put tariffs on podcast equipment," and I can't agree with that more because it's the same topics being repeated over and over again. But ultimately, what is it? It's pushing out the Edomites' agenda, right? I.e., the fight between a man and a woman, right? Now, when you look into it, in fact, if we can real quick just pause on that. In fact, Brother's got presets, so I'll just make the point and bring out your presets instead. If you got
No.
I can get it for you.
Oh, if you get Jeremiah, 31:22, right? Because when you look into the plan that the Edomite had, right? You read Genesis, the 3rd chapter, right? It says that he was more subtle than any beast of the field, okay? So he moves with subtlety, right? He's patient. He puts together plans to move an agenda, and he doesn't mind waiting to build. Because what we're seeing here today is it's not something that he just happened and they've just kind of brought it out from yesterday. No, this is something that has been in the works for a very long time, right? And one of the key things of that was getting the woman out of the house, right? Because Esau understood that if you remove the woman from the house, then eventually he'd have what? He'd have the children, right?
Yeah.
Grab that, and if you hold Proverbs 22:6, yeah, train up the child where she go.
This is Jeremiah 31 and 22, and it reads, "How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
Mhm.
For the Lord have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man."
That's it. So that's what you basically see nowadays, right? Where a woman is, let's be honest, above the man in this particular kingdom, right? But what does that do? Right? Basically puts women in a position that they don't ultimately want to be in.
Yeah.
Because you hear them say it's just like, I want a strong man, I want a guy like this, blah, blah, blah. But then the lives that they're living, like what is it? They came out and basically said like a lot of women now out earn men, right? But then these women are naturally hypergamous. So it's like, wait there. So if you out earn most of the men, but you don't want to date someone that earns less than you, then you're all going for the same 10 guys, but then you don't want to share. So then you just end up once again in this position where everyone is single, right? So Esau knows what he's doing when he's doing all of these things. That's why, like, for instance, nothing goes viral unless he allows it to go viral, which is why you hear certain things and then it will just be taken out of the news, like, immediately. I always give the example after I don't like calling her the queen, after Elizabeth died, right? What happened was you started seeing stories online about how Prince Harry, right? He basically allegedly was he took it from a few women or something around that frame. That trended for like an hour, and it was gone. Someone got that phone call, take this shit down. Never heard about it again, right? Because these elites, they don't, if they've got agendas to fulfill, right? So if you're seeing a certain story, a certain a thing, right, trending, it's because he wants it to trend. Which is why me personally, I speak as a man. I speak as a man. I'm going to say that. That's why me personally, I think Kevin got taken out, right? Because he was actually kind of balanced with it. He weren't just doing this weird thing that you see certain of these other so-called red pillars do, where they're just, it's just like, I forgot, someone basically called it male feminism, right? When you really look at some of this, because what, Romy Tomato to whatever,
Russell, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
yeah, the so-called father of that stuff, right? He basically was telling men to get vasectomies, man. Right, so then you stop and you think, so whose agenda actually is this, right? That is that Edomite agenda. Okay, just get some precepts. Talking a lot, but then we'll go back to your point. Just get some precepts first. Yes, yeah, but sure.
This is the book of Proverbs 22 and 6. Train up a child in a way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Right. So when you look at this master plan that the Edomite had, right, which ultimately it's the Messiah that gave it to him so that we can end up in this degenerate place that we're in today, right? But when you look at the plan, it was take the woman out of the house. So then you got no choice but to then take the children into the institutions where they get institutionalized, right? Which is why, would you call it, say it every now and then, but you'll be walking, like when I do like my morning walk or my lunchtime walk, right? You'll be just seeing these young children, usually the young girls, right? They'll be like 14, 15, you just see them just holding hands, right? That lifestyle is very much promoted among and accepted, or rather embraced by the youth, right? But that is all because he has basically taken the children away, and then nowadays you can't even discipline your children, right? Nowadays you can't even discipline your children, and then he then puts these basically economic sanctions on you, where you've got no choice but to work out your ass. So then you come home where you're supposed to now debrief your children. All right, so what did you learn at school today? You ain't got the energy for them because you're tired, your woman's tired, right? And so what do? Just give them an iPad. And then what are they watching on the iPad? Shit, that makes them even worse. Okay. So if you finish your thing, or if you got a preset.
Yeah, I'll finish up.
Oh, you go quick one?
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus 25 and 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that has joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that we look forward to the kingdom, man, to have joy of our children, right? And if you pause that real quick and also get me, was it Psalms 127?
Yeah.
I think it's 127. Have his quiver full of them. Right? Yeah, because before we, when we get into, as we're transitioning into the kingdom, right? What we're going to do, we're going to see the fall of our enemy. We're going to see the fall of the man that has made everything in this world painful. Okay? Through his witchcraft and his media, he makes it seem like, once again, that's why I wanted to start off with it transformed into an angel of light. He's made it seem like his way is the right way. And when you start looking into all of the different policies that he has used to achieve that, you understand that you're dealing with this just a straight up devil, right? What's one of the things them racists say, right? So-called racists, right? They say that because ultimately it's like you're supposed to be for your race, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. But they say, oh, why is it you guys say you built everything, but everywhere, all of your countries are shithole countries. That's what they say, right? And let's be real. It's true. Where I'm from, they call it a shithole country. But then you start looking at the different policies. You start looking at the different policies about how they use sanctions, right? They set up puppet leaders that keep the nation in this particular state so that these Edomite corporations can come, rape, and rob that land. Okay, and what one because I started watching, what was it, Turning Point, and also what was it, Turning Point on Netflix, was going into like the Cold War, America, Russia, right? But then also when you look into like post World War II, just in general, right? When you observe what happened with Japan, right, that is a good story to show just how the Edomite is, right? Because even during the war, what was the Edomite doing? He was basically making the Japanese the enemy of the state.
Yeah.
And is he not about to do that with us? He's about to make us the enemy of the state.
Make them to look like a master, right?
Yeah.
So like they're men, like in living.
Exactly. Exactly, right? And then not only that, though, is that after World War II, what did the Edomite do? He then basically took the emperor of Japan and made him a puppet, right? They were like, look, man, we're gonna use you to transition this country. So they went from a bunch of brutal warriors, because when you look into what you call the Japanese history of what they were and why like they're hated amongst the Koreans and the Chinese, right? It's because their men were brutal. But then they basically got changed into these femboys, if you will, right? For the from what we see over here at least. Okay. Now the point I'm trying to make is just it shows you how he has gone around the world, and that's use that one because that's a documented example of it, right? So what about times when it's undocumented? What about times that, because we know certain of them leaders and so-called Ghanaian, African leaders, whatever you want to call them, they're bought and paid for.
That's it.
Okay. You got
This is Psalms 127. If I can start from verse 3, sure. And it says, "Lo." It says, "Lo." Psalms 127, verse 3. "Lo, children are in heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of a womb is his reward.
Yeah.
As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth.
So
happy is the man that have his quiver full of them."
Yeah, that's it. As happy as a man, you're shooting them out.
Come on, man.
Right? But guess what? Now we live in a world where our generation has less testosterone than our father's generations, has less testosterone than our grandparents' generation. Right? This is the world that we live in. Right? So you start hearing about stories about men in their 30s that struggle to get it up. Right? That's not supposed to be the case.
It's actually like that's a big thing. Was it erectile dysfunction?
Yep.
Come on, man. Lack of testosterone, erectile dysfunction. Come on, that's curses, man.
That's
young men
in
their primes. It shouldn't be happening.
Exactly. Right? But that's just the world that this Edomite has created. But he's gonna tell you he's the almighty wise man. Okay.
Yeah. And it says, "They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate." Yeah, that's it. That's the last verse there.
Yeah, that's it, man. Children are an heritage, and they're ultimately a blessing. Yeah. But in this world, it feels like a curse, right? Because this Edomite has then what? What has he then done? He's then weaponized children, right? Because here it is, you have children with a woman, and she would just bug out and be a fucking demon, man. Okay.
So, like, can you imagine? Like, let's say you got concubines, wives, multiple wives, and you got children that are of age to work. Imagine everyone in the household is working, saving up money. That's a big family business.
That's
man.
a big family business.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and that's why, for instance, even it's one of the things I forgot who I was talking to, but about how basically policy ends up shaping how you do things and how you live. In fact, I remember who it was. Right, one of the things that, for instance, as an example, architecturally, French houses look a certain way because they got taxed if the house was over X amount of stories unless there was a balcony. So when you look at French houses, they look a certain way. But then when you look at this modern day lifestyle, where can most people afford to live? In a flat, for the most part, especially if you're trying to buy a house. Nowadays, you're buying a flat, right? So how many children can you actually have when you're living in a flat? So in the back of your mind, you're thinking about this. Shit, can I, where they all going to sleep?
Yeah, and children, they're full of energy.
Exactly.
They need the space. They need space.
You know why that's deep? Because that's the same reason why people say you can't have a big dog in a flat. Because it's like the dog's gonna need, the space to run around. But it's the same with the child. The child's gonna need space around. So that's one of the things. It's like how economic policy shapes, how economic policy and all of that sort of stuff shapes exactly what you end up doing in your life. Let's be real. If you're someone that drives every, you're thinking, yo, if I have this next child, I'm gonna have to get like a legit minivan to bus everyone around. Okay.
Well, precept.
Yes, sir.
This is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
That's it, and that's wrong, man. No one's happy here. No one's happy here. That's why people are just. That's why they're legal in America, legalizing cannabis, legalizing, talking about legalizing cocaine. I think are they talking? I forget, but basically legalizing all of these drugs is now becoming a thing because people need what they need, that escapism, right? They need more and more and more of it. Okay, that's why you're seeing people, they just go on holiday, just get pissed drunk because they need to feel alive, right? Because here it's just pain. Everyone's just suffering, man. Okay, you work in hella hours, right? But then you end up not even having anything to really show for it. Okay. Unless you had something to say on that yourself.
No, but you're right, man. That's why everyone's mourning, because you got, excuse my language, you got a SHIT ruler. No, so everybody's gonna follow the vibrations of that ruler. When you rule in wickedness, it creates rebellion, depression, division.
That's it.
Death, discomfort, everything.
Because
and that's the mindset of this society, man. As you say, rebellious. You see everything they do is actually they do against what the will of the Heavenly Father.
Exactly.
They want to go. Outside of the ordinance. Which create the chaos, create the confusion, create the what? Death.
That's it. Yeah, because you talk about rebellion. What does the scripture say? It says rebellion is as the sin of the witch. From what do you do to the witch? Right? You kill them, man. That's because that's what I was gonna add. It's you like burn them. You burn them. Yeah, that's what right? But that's why because you're talking about you're going against your witch, which is why you're getting like a lot of men that'll be topping themselves off, because it's like a man's not allowed to be a man in this kingdom, right? As a man, there are certain things, there's certain fulfillment, like a man doing fulfills. But what with all of the different AI stuff, all the robotics that Esau's bringing, he's imagining a world where man ain't doing anything, right? He's and that's like men need fulfillment, right? Women need children, men need to do stuff,
Purpose.
That's why you'll be seeing certain, and the thing is, they'll put on a face. Like what's that I think she's Amalek, the Amalekite comedian, Chelsea Handler. You see in her, she always makes joke. Oh, I'm 50 and childless, but you can see in her eyes she's burning, man. Right, the proof. Because then she started dating, what was it, Joe Coy, which I think he's a Jay. He's Filipino. Well, his dad's actually a so-called white. I didn't actually know that. His dad's so-called white man. His mom's a Filipino. But so when he did a show out there in the Philippines, right? There's a big b-boy culture. So it's like that man was just break dancing and all of that stuff, right? But she started dating him, and all of a sudden her aura changed, right? She was all happy, like and stuff like that. I was like, right, it just goes to show you, right, that the way that the Edomite has said is the wrong way, right? Which we can jump into Sirach 10th chapter. I know you see something else.
It's the book of Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And one of the lies is what? About the family, the family supposed to be ruled by the man, but here we have, Esau, who is in power, convince the whole world that the household doesn't need to have a man, that's why now you see the degenerative, children around, there's a lot of ongoing, confusion and all this stuff, man. All start with, the philosophy, policy and the way the Israelite, brought the word.
That's it. That's right. Because as has been said before, the elites don't live like that. The elites don't live like that. When you think when Evelyn was still alive, his woman could just come and he could just get her taken out. And what would then happen? Right? But it's like they understand the power of the woman, right? Which is why you can read about that in First Ezra. Women are powerful, man. Right? And Esau understands that and he's weaponized that, right? But then he's then used because then he could get Adam was first formed, then Eve, the Corinthians. That's one of them. Corinthians. Yeah, if you do a word search for that, let me look as well. Right, and then you can grab you could use in Sirach anyway. So you grab that Sirach 25.
That's Timothy.
Yeah.
Okay, this is First Timothy 2. I'll start from one straight to the point. Oh, straight to the point. Okay, and it says, First Timothy 2, verse 12, and it says, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression."
That's it.
Yeah. Notwithstanding.
And why did the serpent go to the woman? Right, I'll grab that real quick. It says 1 Peter 3:7. "Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto what? The weaker vessel. Right, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered." Right, so the woman is the weaker vessel. Right, so the serpent knows that that's the attack point. Right, but as we also read in First Ezra's, right, a woman is a woman has strength, and if you ain't bounded to anything, she can have you going into all manner of different doctrines, right? Which is why you will start having men who have a bow child and will just accept it because what has the wife said? The wife's been like, no, it's all about happiness, etc., etc., right? But then,
women are governed by emotion.
Exactly. So that's what the serpent did, right? And that's what you're seeing today in a mass scale. Okay.
That's right. And it says, last verse, "Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing.
That's it.
If they continue in faith and charity, with holiness, with sobriety."
That's it. And so what you're gonna see in these last days, you get these women they don't want to shed, right? But as soon as they see the men of the Lord, when the time starts to come, when it starts getting into that season, right, they're gonna be like, as it says in Isaiah 4:1, look, man.
Right. Yeah, Isaiah 4 from the top. The subheading is "A remnant prepared," and it says, "And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel.
Yeah.
Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach."
That's it, because what this Edomite has done, and once again, man, the Lord has created the perfect devil, man. It's like certain when you see how he's all orchestrated this, right? You're just there like, yo, this is hey, the Lord has created the perfect devil, because what? A lot of these women, as we touched on earlier on, they out-earn men. Yeah. But they out-earn men where? In what particular jobs? A lot of those government jobs, a lot of those office type of jobs, right? Whereas men, a lot of the times, yeah, you get men in them positions, but men also do a lot of labor some type of jobs, right? What's Trump been doing? What's Doge been doing? Or rather, what did Doge do? They cut down their jobs, right? Which is why, kind of keep mentioning, right? Over the last 3 months, right, 300,000 so-called black women have lost their jobs in America. That's not a small That's not a small number, right? Especially when he's created in our so-called hate this word, but in our so-called the black community, so-called, right, where that's the only breadwinner in the house, right? And then in the same breath, gonna then take off the the different benefits and stuff like that. What is he making? What situations is he creating for those women? Situation where they're gonna be coming down to Isaiah 4:1. Okay, but then he's then gonna be like, look, man, all right, you've been struggling. Look, man, I got this little device. Goes under your skin, but if you get it, hey, you get your SNAP benefits back, right?
Or your problems will be solved.
All your problems will go away, right? You know. What did we?
I got something. Isaiah 32:9.
So let's grab.
Yeah.
Let's get this rock 10.
Yeah.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus. 10 himself from 1. It says, "Oh, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered."
So yeah, a wise judge will instruct his people, right? Which is why in the kingdom, out of Zion shall go forth the law. Why is that Isaiah 2? Yeah. We'll grab that and we'll hold this, jump around a little bit.
Isaiah 2, verse 2. And it says, in the last days, and it shall come to pass in the last days, when the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountain.
Right, and the mountain represents government. Carry on.
And it says, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
Yep.
And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord.
Yeah.
To the house of the God of Jacob.
That's it. So in the kingdom, they go, these different heathen nations, right? They're gonna be looking up to us, like, which makes me think that but it's like you then read Deuteronomy 4, Deuteronomy 7, where it says what people is like this with the law so based so good, right? It's Deuteronomy 4:7, but that's gonna be fully fulfilled in the kingdom, man. Where they're gonna be like, the Israelites, man, the way they do things, right? It's amazing. That's why they're gonna be flowing up onto us, because they're gonna see that our way is the right way, right? The Lord is gonna have, fully taken off this covering cast that's on the people at the moment, where they're looking at this Edomite, trying to be like this Edomite, man. Okay, but that's one of the things that Esau hates. That's one of the things he hates about this truth, because one of the things that this truth does is we stop revering this Edom. We start looking at him for the piece of shit that he is.
Yeah, that's right.
And Esau hates that, man. Because he's always the one where he go, and you see certain times, it will be in certain environments, right, where he walks in and he knows that he's supposed to be getting respect. And when you don't give him that respect, what does he do?
Yeah.
He goes
Tantrum.
he goes in a tantrum like he always does, right? You look back with Cain and Abel. Here it is. He did the wrong thing, right?
Yeah.
He got told, yo, bro, fruit, really?
Yeah, come on, man.
Bro, come on. Fruit.
Put some effort, man.
Put some effort.
Yeah.
What does he go out and do? He has a tantrum. That's this Edomite, man. Okay, so that's one of the things he really hates about this thing. Apart from many things, there's a lot of things he hates about this truth. But one of the things is that we don't respect this Edomite. It's like, bro, like you're going into slavery, bro.
Yeah. That's right. If I may say this, this scripture in Isaiah 2, that exposes that wicked anti-Christian doctrine of all nations can be saved. Because the scripture says the last days, which is yet to happen, which is prophetic, right? When Yahushua comes back and returns and raises up the Israelites, it says the other nations are going to follow suit, man. Okay? And learn the law, statutes, and commandments. So what's that talking about? How can all the other nations be equal to the Israelites? That don't make no sense. That it says a mountain above the hills.
Yeah, well, when you watch a film, right? I think there's a term for it. I forget the term, but it's like, you're watching the film, and then there's something that happens at the end, and it's like, wait, that doesn't align with the whole storyline. Or like, when they do things when in like how can I'm trying to think of the example anyway, right? But it's like that idea of the plot holes. That's the word. Yeah. Right. The heathens. That's a major plot hole.
Oh yeah.
Like what do you call it? It's like, because Esau's been doing a lot in Hollywood recently.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it will be like the X-Men or something. And like when
Futures past.
when Gene killed what you call the blue guy.
Nightcrawler.
No, the big blue guy. No,
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like, well, wait, the Apocalypse, bad man.
Yeah.
So wait,
Yeah.
the Apocalypse is a bad man.
Yeah.
That doesn't line up.
Don't make no sense. Yeah.
That's what when these Christians are saying every nation can make it, right? And really, they're saying Esau can make it. That's really the
That's
point.
who they fight. Yeah.
That's really who they're fighting for. Let's be real. When Jake is saying that they ain't thinking about a Moab, right? Unless he's got some Moab side piece. But outside of that, right, he ain't thinking about Moab. And when Esau's saying he's thinking about himself, he's not thinking about anyone else. Okay? So quicker, bring it out.
It's the book of Isaiah 40 and 15, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and they are counted as the small dust of the barrens. Behold, it takes up the highest as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast there, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and burning. Yeah, that's as the brother say. You know how the power be, go against his words, right? By accepting the other nations, in a way to save them, over. Let me say like to save them as his people, while he himself will say like they are nothing, right?
That's it. They're like unto spittle, man.
Yeah.
You be walking, maybe like a fly, you just get it, or like if you're into baking or whatever, and you get you got put flour in the scales, you put in 1 cup, okay, 2 cups, you can put one in. You have a little bit over, you're like, it's nothing, it doesn't do anything.
That's it. Yeah.
Right? Okay, and that's what these heathen nations are. They're nothing, and they'll always be nothing. Real quick, get Malachi 3:16 or 3 and 6. 3 and 6, yeah.
This is Malachi 3 and 6. And it says, "For I am the Lord, I change not."
So the Lord doesn't change, man. Right? And then if you finish it off real quick.
"Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed."
Right, because look, man, hey, you read through like the Judges, yo, as a nation, we hard-headed, man. Hey, what does it say? You are stiff-necked and hard-hearted people, man. Right? So, hey, the Lord, luckily, the Lord's about his name and his word. So if the Lord says something, well, Isaiah 55:11, my word shall not return unto me void, right? Hey, the Lord made a promise all the way back, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He made a promise that he would set up that seed. Yeah. So for him to then change that, be like, actually, I'm gonna open it up a bit, what do you call it? Let's get some stinky ass Elamites up in there. Let's get some camel eating Ishmaelites up in there as well, right? Let's get the worst of the heathen, the base of the men, the Edomite up in it. No. That will be the Lord going against his word. That will be the Lord going against his promise, right? And as we just read as well, the Lord is not a man, right? That's another precept. But basically, the Lord doesn't change, man, right? And as a nation, hey, we hella lucky for that.
Yeah.
Because you read through the Judges, man, you're like, damn. It was like, it's because it was the same story repeated over and over again, right?
Yeah. When the scripture says that the Lord's mercy endureth forever, it's literally for Jake.
Yeah.
Because, even though the wicked Jakes, we always refer to the 2/3, even though they can be destroyed in this side, but ultimately all Israel is going to be saved. That's the Lord's mercy endureth forever. That mercy does not extend to the heathen nations, man.
Right.
Okay. The only, like the elder apostle always says, the only salvation they have is enslavement. That's it.
That's right. The Edomites, worse for you, because you ain't even after 1,000 years, you're going to be done away with, man. Right? Because the scriptures refer to you as the wicked, which is my sword, as an example. There's going to be no need for the wicked in the kingdom. Right? When scripture says, 2 Peter 3:13, right? We seek a kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. So there's going to be no need for you after you serve your punishment. Okay?
What? That's a good point. What do Edomites really bring to the earth?
Malachi 4. Is it or 1 and 4? Let's
I'm
answer
ready
that
there.
question. Are you ready there?
I'm ready. Malachi.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's answer. Yeah, let's answer the question.
Yeah, Malachi 1 and 4. And it says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Right. So that's the answer. That's what those Edomites bring, wickedness, man. Right. You see how they are whenever. That's why a lot of these whenever these like Americans and Brits go abroad. That's why a lot of these heathen nations they don't like them. Because what they're coming and they're bringing that Edomitish way, and the heathens like, bro, like, don't get me wrong, the Edomite can still go anyway he wants. People still fear him. He's still in charge,
Yeah.
right? But they don't like him a lot of the time.
Yeah, like in Japan, I believe they worship Edom, you know, though he bombed them.
Yeah,
But still they worship.
yeah.
You know, they seem like a dog. You know?
Yeah. Whoa, what he made fire to come out.
Yeah, from heaven.
You know, they you know, which maybe that's going to something else, but it's just, you know, that idea of that was never before seen on Earth, right? That was something. But today, right, a lot of those Japanese, a lot of that, they're like, look, man, these foreigners need to stop coming to our country, man, right? They don't like, and also they're talking about these, because these Edomites and these Western, that's why I said, like these Edomites type of people, right? Because that's including Jake too. They'll be going over into these certain lands acting like Edomites, and then those people in their lands are like, look, man, what the fuck you doing, man? Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it.
It says the border of wickedness.
Yeah. So wherever this Edomite goes is the border of wickedness. Hey, what that's why what was the first thing? Sure, I was going. Yeah, sure. What was the first thing what was the first thing the Taliban did as soon as America left? Bro, they took down all of the women empowerment stuff, right? They was like, look, man, none of that, immediately, right? You know, there's certain, what was it? There'll be like posters of like women on walls. They took them down immediately, man. They was like, we're not having that Edomitish woman worship over here, you know? That's
Yeah,
it, you know. They were just talking about, you know, touch on different things. One of one of the things that we just asked, bro, was like, look, what does the Edomite bring? Right, and we answered it, Malachi 1 and 4. He brings nothing but wickedness, that's evil, right? And more these heathen nations, although he's still in that rulership, right, he's still revered to some degree. A lot more and more people are starting to look at this Edomite for what it is that he really is, right, which is nothing.
Esau's like an idol. What do you do with an idol? You dress it up and you make it look pretty, make it look valuable. So of course Esau's got the power. So people look at that and say, okay, yeah, I wanna emulate that. But you don't want to emulate this devil. It's because this devil, the source of all of his money, it's all wickedness. All right, Esau's a deviant, man. You know, I've been doing it. You know, once in a while I go into the depths of darkness, man. You know what I mean? I have to, you know, I start looking into the occult. I start looking into certain things, man. And it's so dark, man. The child molestations and all these things that these men are into, and it gets swept under the rug. You look up some of these scandals that have come out, like the Mark Trudeau. This is Mark Trudeau scandal in Belgium, and that was a network. See, what they do is a lot of these. What you're gonna find out is a lot of these things that they point to one man and say, "Oh, it was him." Ted Bundy. What's the other one? Jeffrey Dahmer. They made a Netflix about him. They left a whole bunch of shit out of that Netflix show. You go back and you check all the details regarding these serial killers. Yeah, they were involved, but they weren't working alone. These guys are fall guys for a whole occult network that was behind them. Just like Epstein wasn't working alone, but it will end up being it wasn't working alone. It's a whole occultic demonic network around him, but they'll frame everything so that it's just him. Then you got Jimmy Savile. Yeah. He was part of a occultic demonic network, and they try to keep the satanic part of what they always try and keep the occultic part of what they're doing on the down low. Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, they all had occultic, ritualistic behaviors. Jeffrey Dahmer, he had an altar that he was putting the bodies on and storing the skulls. He was 100% doing witchcraft, but they won't put that in a Netflix show.
If I can add, because I rewatched Sabrina and everything that you're saying, they actually show you in that.
Yeah.
Sabrina
The second series of Sabrina, they were bringing out a lot of occultic beliefs, real beliefs that they have, man.
That's what, man.
Right? So Esau is a massive demon. The level of wickedness that this man's doing is on a next level beyond any heathen that we know, and that's why he got to go. Someone get Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter, man. The odious works of witchcraft. This guy ain't no different. He's worse than the Canaanites, and the Lord dealt with the Canaanites for what they were doing. He dealt with Egypt. They're doing these Edomites portray themselves to the world as if they've gone beyond that, like they surpassed heathenism. You understand what I'm saying? Like they the Enlightenment period, when the guys that were running the Enlightenment period were all occultists.
Yeah. That's what we opened up with, transformed into an angel of light, man.
Yeah. These guys, we believe in science. We don't believe in that's bullshit, man. All them guys, all them Edomites in the scientific community, that we had the Royal Society, previous to Esau taking it over, was all about the Most High. All the scientists in Europe, when they made the discovery, it was all about the God's creation. Then you had guys like Charles Lyell, you had guys like George Cuvier, you got guys like Darwin. All these guys were occultists. They were part of the Lunar Society and different secret societies, which is all about witchcraft. But they were also embedded into the scientific community, and they're the ones that try to now spin everything that it's not about God no more. It's all about science, and bringing all the evolution, all this fake science that to get people to go away from God. Meanwhile, these guys all worship demons. When you check it out, evolution is a Babylonian doctrine. It's the belief that man can transition himself over time to become God. It's not no new thing that they came up with. They just rebranded the old satanic doctrine and called it evolution. Go on.
It's Wisdom 12. You want me to start from the top? Or
You can do.
Yeah. Wisdom 12 from the top. It says, "For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things. Therefore chasteneth thou them by little, and little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended."
The Lord always give it, even if though they ain't got no chance. You can't say the Lord didn't give you a chance. The ancient Canaanites. Can we get in is it Genesis? Is it the account 12? Is it 12 where he said to Abraham, "To the iniquity of the Amorites be fulfilled"? It was going to be in Egypt for 400 years. What it's telling you there is that the Lord will cause things to happen, yeah, as a warning that you better stop what you're doing, otherwise judgment is coming. Yeah, just the one. Right? So even with the ancient Canaanites, there were things that were happening to them over the course of that 400 years, right? That would be like as a warning to say, you need to turn from all this witchcraft and this madness that you're doing, or even greater judgment's gonna come. Right? Just like with Esau now. Esau knows, listen, Esau knows. The Lord brings judgment every day. But Esau don't care, like you go double down on his wickedness. You do more and more and more, but he's set up to do that so that the Lord can end up judging him. But he can't say that he didn't know that this was wrong. What's a prime example of that? Sodomism. What is he so going to turn around and say, he didn't know it was wrong? He didn't know the Most High weren't with that. These are the same man will turn up. And when people come protesting LGBT with the Bible, them man get violent and want to burn the Bible.
Yeah.
They know what the scriptures say concerning Sodom and Gomorrah.
All of them Sodomites as well. They know.
They know what's going on. They've had warnings, man. The amount of things judgments that's come down in the earth, earthquakes, all these different things, man. So they know that it's spooky, but they'll try and it's science.
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah, science away. We call it because you had that UKIP guy, man, years ago.
Yeah. He said the reason they was getting the flood and all that was because of all the wickedness, and they binned them. Yeah, they don't want to hear all that. That's in Psalms. I believe is it 12th chapter?
He flattered himself in his own eyes. Yeah, go on.
Genesis 15, and start from
Or
13.
10. Or 10. Yeah, go on.
And he said unto Abraham, know of sure that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs.
That seed wasn't no, because you got this vocab Malone and these morons. They were trying to throw corruption and throw confusion out there. Oh, well, at the time, Abraham thought he was talking. No, he said his seed is going to dwell in Egypt. So that means that who did that apply to? The Israelites. So Israel is that seed. There ain't no confusion. This is what we do know. In the Bible, there's no confusion as to who the seed of Abraham is. Because we're just reading it. He said, your seed is going to dwell in Egypt. Who did that happen to? The 70 souls that went down into Egypt. That was Jacob and his children. That's the seed of Abraham. There weren't no political group or if I believe. Man, start doing up R. Kelly. If I just believe. It don't matter whether you believe or not. The seed is what it is.
That's it.
It's a physical seed that came forth out of his loins. From Abraham to Isaac onto Jacob. The man are trying to confuse the thing. Oh, he wasn't sure. He was sure. Talking about. Go on.
And shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years.
Right, we serve the Egyptians. Now, another thing, just a quick segue. You got these devils now. They wanna squirm and they wanna. Oh well, if you go back in, only 1.2% of Edomites, of white people, actually owned slaves. Okay, only the Pharaoh owned the Israelites. But did not the firstborn of all Egypt suffer? And the cattle. Well, blood, cattle. What are you talking about? The only 1.2% owned slaves. So what? The other 90, what was it? How much? Yeah, do the math for me. 98.8.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I right on that? 90, or the other 90, I'm one of them low IQ Negroes, isn't it? Okay. The other 98.8 of them Edomites, they were involved too, but they were just standing there saying, no, don't do it, please. No, they were forward in the affliction. Yeah. How you mean? You think the slave owners were the only people that was oppressing and terrorizing Jake? What are you talking about, man? They were hella proud. Go on.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge.
Right, so that's you know what that's called? That's precedent. That's called, you go to the court works of precedent. Oh, Your Honor. And they'll go, Johnny versus the state, 1952. This exact thing happened and this set precedent for, isn't that how the court works?
So they operate, yeah.
It's called precedent. So is there precedent for a nation being judged for putting the Israelites into slavery? Oh, but Your Honor, only 1.2% of the Egyptians. So that's not in there. The scripture tells you in Wisdom of Solomon, I believe it's the 17th chapter, that the Lord punished as the king suffered, so did the commoner. As the master, so did the servant. What that means is you had Egyptians that were slaves. They got punished too.
Yeah.
Oh no, but it's now all the Edomites, they want to scapegoat people. That's all their thing. Every Edomite's trying to find, oh, it's the Jews, it's their fault. The Jews did anything. Like they're innocent. No, you ain't innocent, man. You're all guilty.
That's right.
You might all be equally guilty, but you're all guilty. Just like Pharaoh was guilty, but he wasn't the only one. He was guilty. His family was guilty. His priesthood was guilty. His servants was guilty. His whole people were guilty. Oh, am I wrong? Then why did all the firstborn of Egypt get punished?
There you go.
Judgment to wrath. So we know there's a precedent for that. So when we tell you all you Edomites are guilty, well, what makes you special compared to Mizraim? Because how come Mizraim couldn't turn up and say, well, hold on, the Pharaoh was the one that's in power. Yeah. He made the decision. He said not to let the people go. We didn't have a vote. I don't recall there being a democratic vote. But all the people suffered because they were all guilty. They all terrorized the Israelites. All you damn devils is guilty, man. Think you are, man. You ain't no special. You ain't nothing special, man. We got precedent, man. You are likened unto the Egyptians. You're no different.
I hate about Esau. The only one that thinks they deserve mercy. Undeserved.
They're trying to make themselves not guilty. Nah, you're guilty to the court, and you're gonna pay. Go on. Just like the Egyptians paid.
And afterward, shall they come out with a great substance.
That's the Israelites. We spoiled the Egyptians. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, but what about the mixed multitude? The mixed multitude were numbered with the cattle. The mixed multitude did not receive a covenant with the Lord. The mixed multitude was Donnies that were just like, yo, we're rolling with you. And it's like, all right, you can come with us, but you know you're going to be second-class citizens. You're servants among us. You don't have the same rights. Because you don't have the same birthright. All right, the mixed multitude wasn't being allotted land for eternal inheritance with the Israelites. They wasn't among the holy assembly when they gathered before the Lord. They had to be outside the camp. They were the side man, the extras. So don't give me no BS about the mixed multitude. They were there for a reason. Those were our human resources right there. Yeah. Okay, go on.
And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age.
Right. So you already told Abraham that. Until the go on.
But in the fourth generation.
Why the fourth generation? Because reincarnation is in the Bible. Reincarnation is in the Bible. So you come back in the third and fourth generation. That's how the thing goes. All right. So anyway, it's gonna explain itself. Go on.
They shall come either again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full.
Is not yet fulfilled. So the Amorites had to do generation upon generation of wickedness. So hold that, get Deuteronomy, I believe the 7th chapter, so that when we came into the land and the Lord was ready to bring judgment on Canaan, every blood clot one of them had to go, even down to the youth, because the youth weren't innocent. The youth was their grandparents coming back in the reincarnation that was doing all the hocus pocus and all the wickedness. So that's why the Lord said, yo, when you go in there, everything must dead.
That's right.
There was no innocent in there, because the Lord waited for them man to fulfill the full wickedness.
Yeah.
Just like you Edomites now, even the little Edomite is guilty.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, you're going off. Well, okay, then what are we reading about here then? And this is the disconnect, man. These guys that vocab Malone. There's the Bible is, if you know the Lord by his judgment, the scripture says the things written aforetime were written for our learning. So you learn about the character and the judgment of the Lord by his previous judgments.
Well, quick precept,
Yeah.
the point you made about reincarnation. This is Exodus 20, verse 3. The point is in verse 5. But thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth, is the point. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
That's why we get born into captivity, man. We born into this captivity to serve judgment for our past sins, man. They say a man that was born on a slave ship, man. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's pee.
Hell.
You know what I'm saying? You just pop out. What's that smell? You know what I'm saying? It's catching hell from the get-go, man. You know them ones, just like you know them ones, yeah. That's why even in the games, man don't respawn in the thick. Yeah, if you get a glitch, yeah, and you respawn in a firefight, what the fuck is going on? You're supposed to respawn in safety, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, you get judgment out here. Man will get respawned on a slave ship, man. That's crazy. Hey, it's gonna be Edomites getting respawned into nuclear fire. Because there's always women giving birth. You're pregnant woman, man bursts out, missile, bam, whoa.
It show like, I mean, so it's kind of women, I mean, they were not confused. I mean, not pregnant women, but there's only one woman who was pregnant, you know, and during the time of chaos, you have to give birth.
You have to give birth, man. There's always women ready to bust out. You know what I'm saying? Man, respawn into a war. That happens, man.
Crazy, yeah. They showed you in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. In the dream, Sarah Connor, in the park with all the mothers and kids and babies.
Yeah. Missiles just dropped. Bam. Go on now.
Go to Deuteronomy.
Respawn you into some bad. You get respawned into a crack house. What the hell? What's this all for? With a crack addiction. Bumbuckler. Like, that's judgment. That's the Lord's judgment. And people don't understand it. Oh, yeah, how could God do this? You don't know that, youth, man. That you done wickedness before. That you probably selling crack before.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And come back and you're in a crack hole.
Now you suffering.
You're suffering by the hand of your own wickedness, man. When you really understand reincarnation is true, you reap what, because you could do some wickedness, fuck up your family line, and you get born into that.
Has long lasting effect.
You know what I'm saying? You end up getting born into the mess that you really created. That's cold, isn't it? Hell of a respawn, bro. Good.
It's about Deuteronomy 7 and from 1. It leads, when the Lord thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites.
Right, these were all, even though it mentions Canaanites separately, these were all tribes of Canaan. Right, Canaan had possession over that particular land. There was only one group that weren't Canaanites, and this is for your little your information, and that was the Philistines. The Philistines weren't Canaanites. The Philistines were actually Mizraim. Knew that? Yeah, they were from Mizraim, and the name Philistine means sojourner, because instead of living among Mizraim, they were living among their brother Canaan. You understand? So some people might not know that. They think of the Philistines. Like, who are the Philistines? Yeah, they were Mizraim. And you can read about that in Genesis, the 10th chapter, about Philistia. All right? And they were wicked as hell as well. Because all them nations was wicked back then. They were all into the hocus pocus and the witchcraft. Just like Esau is today. But he's so civilized, he ain't into the hocus. But everything they do, Silicon Valley is a bunch of witches and warlocks, man. Elon Musk and all these guys, they all worship the devil, man. They all do hocus pocus and witchcraft, man. And it's built into their technology. But they want you to feel like they've gone beyond all that. They ain't gone beyond nothing, man. They're still a bunch of nasty warlocks and witches, and they're gonna suffer the judgment of rebellion, man. Go on.
And the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
Right, that was a judgment from the Lord, because they were really being judged for disrespecting that holy land, because that land was always holy. That land has always been the holy land. And so the Lord was bringing judgment on them, just like how he's bringing judgment on Amalek right now. And them Palestinians, but he's using each side to do it. Because them Palestinians ain't right, man. They don't worship Yahweh Hashem Yeshua in the spirit of truth. So they're going off anyway. So the Lord is using them other heathens, right? To really, like lions. They're like likened unto the wasps and the lions that's coming in, punishing them for being in that land. The problem is for them Israelis, the Lord is also going to do the same thing to them. That's why they're living in fear. That's why and it's going to get worse. Yeah. Till eventually the Lord totally rip all them heathens out of the land, just like how he ripped out the Canaanites out of the land. So he could plant a worthy colony of God's children, which is the Israelites, the rightful owners and rulers of the land.
It's 2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 24. And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. Right, that pit or that place is Jerusalem, where the holy people are promised or that dwell. You know, the city of peace.
And they're defiling the land.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all kind of occultism, Kabbalism and occultism and wickedness and pedophilia and all kind of black operations go through that place, man. Child trafficking and all sorts is going through that zone, man. All kind of idolatry and wickedness, man. Nasty. Sodomizing prisoners and all that, man. What are you doing, bro? Batman thing that. That's why the Lord's gonna deal with the pink city, bare tattoos and bare LG to the you know what is all up in there, man. You think the Lord? That's why the Lord's gonna bring fire. Yeah. Fire for that.
They I've heard like them Amalek nasty as hell. Freaks.
Well, they got them perverse Edomites have perverse demonic spirits on them, man. And like I said, they like it all this facade that they're just upright and they're clean and they don't do nothing. That's all lies. That's all marketing, man. This is not the truth of who the Edomites really are. They're always been an extremely deviant people. You could go back into the stories of the boarding schools. Well, what was happening in them boarding schools? Buggering. The bully boy system. Them man were all buggering each other and doing all kind of wickedness, man. Even us, man, growing up, you know them Edomites nasty.
Yeah, man.
Niggas is always trying to touch your bum, trying to do all kind of wickedness. They drawing penises everywhere. Their men are always freaky. That Brokeback Mountain thing was bringing out the truth about these Edomites, man. Even the ones that's like acting like they're staunch and they got families, but meanwhile they get a little bit of liquor in them, and the next thing you know, they're doing the ungodly acts, man, because they got that in them. In fact, they drive most of the. Who do you think is?
It's that spirit, you know, American Pie.
Yeah,
And
bro.
yeah.
Who do you think is paying girls to fart in the bottle?
Come on.
You think Jay got money like that? Jay, listen, Jay buy weed. Well, you man are laughing, but I'm telling you the truth. When you hear about these Edomite, these women earning dumb money and they got these pay pigs and got man doing all kind of madness, like it's Edomites. They're the ones that's got the money to be splashing, paying for bond. You think Jacob got like $2,000 to pay some dominatrix to step in their damn flipping? Them dominatrix earn peas, you know. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. You have to have a license to do dominatrix and all that. It's like security. It's like getting the highest badge. No, the close protection. Yeah, it's true. And I think you got to pay like $5,000 or something to get the license to do bondage, and then you charge big money. And it's all these Edomites. That's like JK. Well, now you might get some Jake that perverse, but really it's always been Edomites that's into the highest level of freakiness, man.
So Deuteronomy 32 and the 31. For their luck is not as our luck, even our enemies themselves being judged. For their vine is the vine of Sodom and of the field of Gomorrah.
So they always been freaky. It's just now all that freakiness through the free love era, which was led by them, is coming out into the open. But they always been into these taboos. That's the Edomite spirit, to be taboo. Because they're a corrupt people, man. But they try and front like they're high IQ, which is the biggest lie. These Edomites are not high IQ at all. They're always trying to act like they're just this super civilized, high IQ, clean-cut elves that do no wrong. And it's everyone else that's doing madness. When these men do everything, who would you see getting bare tattoos all over themselves, acting crazy? Poking out their tongue, cutting their tongue, making it into a snake. It's Edomites, man. Any kind of super crazy, insane thing you could think of, there's a whole bunch of Edomites doing it, man. Bestiality.
Oh God,
necrophilia.
Yeah, it reminds me of the movie. Was it Jackass? That's their spirit.
Bro, that's their spirit, man. That nasty spirit, man. Dudes go on holiday together. Them boys' holidays. Bro, if I go holiday with my boys, man, I was watching one program, a dude shot in the shower for a joke.
Yeah, it's like they do all of them pranks. It's like, bro, why is that funny, bro?
Bro, man's getting dashed out the balcony, man. Man can't even. Man ain't coming back home. And then he just went out. He didn't come back. What's that? How's man going in the shower and someone took a dump in the shower? And then even man's dad saw it. I remember watching the program and his dad saw it and he started laughing. Oh yeah, sorry, bro. My dad saw something like that, but I might die. What are you doing? Shitting in the shower, but then these are the same people that will see Jake do something. See Jacob and twerking and go, oh, I see that. We're looking at okay. Yeah, you third world, That's what happens when you import
like they're any better.
Fucking morons, man.
So, because I'm saying that one thing that he can do is he's made it such that he's an individual, but everyone else is a collective. So when you have one Edomite do something, it's just him. When a Jake does something, it's all of them.
Yeah, and then the Edomites will do the same shit that Jake do. They just ignore it. But these men are the top pedophiles, pedophile networks. You look up the most heinous, like I said, the Mark Trudeau. That's one of the biggest pedophile scandals ever. Look at in America, the biggest pedophile ever caught was a white dentist, man. You had that other Edomite that was in America. There's a documentary on him that he was meant to be doing the artificial insemination, and he was swapping out the sperm of all the damn fucking the men and putting his own sperm, and then they all found out because of that 23andMe thing. I was like, hold on, I got a brother. What's going on? And then they all got diseases because he's weak genetics. Yeah, they all of them have bare fucking autoimmune disease because of this dude, man. Man betrayed the trust of his patients, man. That's why you gotta match your own work. You can't trust man, right?
Proverbs 14:2. He that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Most High Yahweh, but he that is perverse in his ways despiseth him.
Yeah, these men despise the Most High, man. That's a fact. The hell with these devils, man. Listen, man. This high IQ thing just gets on my nerves because I just observe these Edomites every day, and it's like where are all these high IQ Edomites at? I don't know where they are. Who are they? Because they're not, man. Yeah, man. Taking all of our jobs.
So how can you be low IQ and they're taking all their jobs?
Exactly. No, they're the
DEI.
Edomites are the dumbest people you've ever seen, and that's why their own elite they lie to them the most. They're the most controlled people there is because they're so stupid.
That's Lyndon.
So in DEI, what accounts for like 2% of people that get employed or whatever.
Yeah,
you man are full of shit.
They're the big, but they've been the DEI. These Edomites have been the DEI from the very beginning. These men have always been getting these other jobs that they shouldn't have because this man's cousin, because this man's nephew. What are you talking about? You are the ultimate DEI hire. You're the DEI hire of the earth. The Lord put you in power, and you're not even suitable to rule. You're ruining everything.
On what you spoke, the quote is from Lyndon B. Johnson, by the old president. He said, "If you can persuade the lowest white man that he's better than the highest black man, then you can persuade him to basically go against the laws that go against him."
Yeah, which is what they're doing because the New World Order is swallowing them up, and that's why they get more and more angry, and they don't even know who to be angry at because they're down bad. Oh man, I went into Tesco the other day and the price has gone up. You know what I'm saying? Shut up, man. You're through. You voted for that. You know, in fact, voting at all shows you got low IQ. If you're voting in 2025 and you're picking a political party, that in itself is the act of a low IQ individual. Because if you had high IQ, you would understand that there are no parties. There's only one party, and it's being manipulated behind the scenes. It's a trap. It's a ruse. It's an illusion. I'm a conservative. I'm right. Them Democrats, they're idiots. Bro, the very fact you said you're a Republican shows me you're an idiot. that only proclaims to me that you don't have the IQ to understand that the right and the left is the same, and they're working together. Yeah. Them Democrats are stupid.
It's just push and pull. That's what they do.
They're just as emotionally manipulated as the leftists. And who is it? It's Edomites.
Cop, bad cop.
Yeah,
that's what it is, man. It's an illusion.
Hypocrites, man. Anyway, let's keep it. Let's try and get straight back.
This is Hebrews 12 and 16.
Or Esau or this dumbass all day.
Hebrews 12 and 16. I read in NLT. It says, "Make sure that no one is immoral or godless like Esau."
Esau, Edomite. You Edomites are immoral. You don't have morals. You have morale. That's the difference. You know, there's a difference between the two things. Morale is when you feel good. That's all you care about. You don't have morals. If you had morals, the world would be a different place. You don't have morals. You Edomites pretend you like to think. You like to act like you. Oh yeah, trying to save the children. No, you liars. You F the children. That's what you do. That's why most of your organizations do the opposite of what they say they do. That's why you got McDonald's and it was aimed at children. Fruit shoot with poison in it is aimed at children. Cereal and everything. There's a scandal to do with everything because you don't have morals. You never did have morals. It's just morale.
It's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse 1. I'm going to probably jump. Starting from verse 1. So, for the ungodly said, reason with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
Yeah, these Edomites don't really believe in going to heaven. They don't believe it. That's just stuff they say. Edomites believe in the here and now. That's what they believe in, and that's why they do the things they do. Everything these Edomites do is to has been to uplift themselves here on earth, and they've done every evil imaginable to establish themselves in the position they're in. These are the facts. The cowboys, bro, they're willing to kill, rob, lie, and steal so they can live a good middle class, upper middle class, to rich lifestyle. And no matter they don't care what gets in the way. And a lot of them, they're just happy that someone else gets their hands dirty, and they'll ignore it. And that's how the average American does operate. Oh, while the American government is over there destroying this third culture, they can just pretend they ain't got nothing to do with it. Yeah, wash my hands. It wasn't me that did it. Meanwhile, you're reaping the benefits of it.
Yep.
You're the devil, man. That's why you put the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians into slavery, and you do the things that you do. Why are we gonna pretend that you have a more ethic? You know they got business ethics. Why are we gonna pretend that these big multinational corporations have ethics? Like Apple has ethics. Like Microsoft has ethics. None of these big corporations have ethics. The only thing they have is a PR department that has to manage public perception. That's it. They don't really have no ethics. They'll do whatever they could get away with. That's the spirit of an Edomite.
So if your country doesn't have strong laws or strong leadership, or they're fucking poor, they can do what they want in that land. They run that country.
They'll destroy the environment, no problem. They don't really care about that.
Because what are you going to do about it?
Was it the black water that form? It goes into that with Teflon and the DuPont family. And when you look into the find that they got originally,
that's what I mean. You can find them, man. You can find them, but what does it matter?
Who they paying the fine to?
The company never shuts down.
But who they paying the fine to? The government. The government take that money and give it back to them.
Yeah.
It's a joke, man. The whole thing, the whole idea of the moral Edomite, right? And their morals are so much higher than anyone else's in the world. It's a complete fabrication and a lie. It's a complete fabrication. Because if your morals were so high, the Native American Indians would still own their own land. There's so many things that wouldn't exist the way they exist today if you actually had morals. But then you're always trying to disconnect yourself from your past actions, but you're still doing it today. Hello.
This is the book of Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked Most High says, what art thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth.
Right, they had the nerve to say that, oh yeah, well, we're the new Israel. That was a doctrine, the manifest destiny. We're the new Israel, and they said that America is Canaan. Yeah, but when you went in, let's just say that's true, which is not. Let's just say that's true. When you went into the land of Canaan and you got all them, gosh darn it, heathens out, them heathens, when you destroyed all the heathens out of the land, did you keep the law? Did you keep the law? Did you establish the law, or did you establish a constitution and a whole bunch of other laws that ain't nothing to do with the law of the Bible?
What is it? What commandment did you receive to go into Latin America and destroy, Gad? What commandment did you have? Because we got this written in the text to go into Canaan. There's no scripture.
Ain't no prophet told them that. The prophet told them that.
The money.
They were working America. The whole establishment has always been ran by man that is known to be demons, the Illuminati. The elite banking families set up America.
Yep.
What are you talking about, man?
Sing thou at its instruction, and it casteth my word behind thee.
Listen, I always say this about Edomites. They will never let the truth get in the way of their will. They'll never let the truth get in the way. They'll never get righteousness get in the way. They have no integrity. So as soon as they want to do something, they'll find a way. Listen, them man will find a way. They always have. They don't have morals, man. Them morals that they'll say, that's what a hypocrite is. Yeah, we don't believe in murder. Oh shit, that man got that over there? Well, yeah.
They're attacking us.
Yeah, so they're gonna make up some shit to justify it, and they're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna do what they want to do.
That's why it's been beautiful, like having these two wars happening at the same time, because you're getting that people are looking at this Edomite being like, wait, so you're saying that Russia can't play football, but Israel can play football, but what Israel's doing is worse than what Russia's doing, and stuff like that. People are just like, bro, this makes no sense.
Even the mindset, if you believe you're a Christian, right, then you should believe that they believe in everyone having self-determination, right? Then why is Trump, right, going around trying to do things to make, I'm not saying this, but in the eyes of the Trump supporter, right, he is getting the best, basically bullying everyone in the world to get more out of the deal than the other person is getting out of the deal. How the hell is that Christian? That's, you know what, that's mafia. You know, like when the mafia come to you and they're like, yo, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Because you know the deal you're getting is so atrocious and unethical. It's not fair at all. But it's like, they're like, we don't care. Right? But these men are cheering it on.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't want no other nation to. They're saying they don't want to use the dollar. Hold on. So you're telling me another group of people on the other side of the planet can't even choose whether to use your currency or not? And if they don't use your currency, you're gonna punish them?
Yeah.
How is that Christian? No, on a real level. Which part of Christian morals says you bully another group of people into using your currency, even if it's to their detriment? The detriment to their people are suffering because they're using the system that you created, and they can't create another system that suits them for their purposes, just to trade. You're saying, nah, you can't do that, because if you do that, I'm gonna smash
Tariffs everywhere.
because I want to live on the top. I want to live like millionaire status. And these men are like, yeah, go Trump. Yeah, Trump, America first. And you're like, but hold on, you man said that you're Christian.
Especially Bible first, right?
Yeah,
Scripture first.
love thy neighbor as thyself. Like, that's not fair. You wouldn't want another nation to do that to you.
And in fact, they complain when China are getting up in the world. You know what I'm saying? You know?
So do you see the hypocrisy, what we're trying to show you, that these people, because remember, Trump supporters are supposed to be the hardcore Christian, but obviously, where's all that Christianity when the man's going around bullying the nations in the world?
It's the KKK Christians. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
So it's okay to bully people into deals that's not good for them. So it's the mafia style is what's supposed to happen in the world.
On the mafia thing, they raised the bounty on Maduro to 50 million.
Yeah, that's okay.
So how are you gonna put a bounty on the
And what did he do?
Another president.
What did he do? They've been trying to get man out since what's the guy before Chavez? Hugo Chavez. They've been trying to get man out for time, man. They're trying to put that puppet leader in there and everything, man.
Why though?
Why there? I don't know. They've been trying to get the man out. So
it's okay to operate like gangsters,
coup d'etat
and do all this foolishness, yeah. But at the same time, you're Christian and love. God is love, and all this is hypocrisy. They don't have no morals. If they had morals, they'd be like Trump. Well, why can't they use their own currency? Are they not God's creatures? Do they not have free will? Why are we bullying these people? We're supposed to be good, God-fearing Christian folk. The man can't use their own currency to trade, bro. They have to use ours. This is why we're saying they don't really have no integrity. But they want to push like they have integrity. Like they're just so moral and so fair and just. They're not just at all.
Oh, yeah. Ecclesiasticus 12 and the 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee into a pit.
That's all these devils want to do. They want everyone else to be down so they could be up. They don't mind that. And they want to be up. And they want you to be down. So they can lord themselves. And then talk about how down you are. That's what they love. Oh, look at the third world. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as they can't catch in hell now, it's a problem. Oh, it's the immigrants. No, bro, it's your own system is being turned against you. Just look at the UK. Once they've done pilfering the rest of the world, what do they start doing? Pilfering the UK. And that's why all over the UK, you go to all these coastal cities, coastal towns, they down bad. Them Edomites are out there, you know, drunk off flipping chemical, what do they call it? Chemical meth, you know, like domestos and all kind of shit mixed up. They're out there like barely can speak English you can understand. Down bad out here. They down all the way bad. Who did that? Your own people did that. Because they cut off the industrial base and shipped it out so they could make money off it, take advantage of the third world, right? And then they set up a system where you go holiday in Spain and that instead of going holiday in the UK.
It's mad. It's cheaper to leave the country than to go, and which should not make sense.
Shouldn't make sense. Now all them coastal cities are down bad. And then the other day, a bunch of man from Ivory Coast side went to the beach to have a party, and they're angry at that. I was like, bro, they're boosting the economy.
Exactly. Why ain't they at work?
Why ain't they having that party in their country?
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn, hypocrites. But they could be in Australia though.
Yeah.
They'll fully watch a whole thing. Them man are playing cricket in Australia. It's all Edomites in the crowd. They don't say, well, how come them man are not playing cricket in England?
Yeah.
Man, they're just, these people are liars. Their whole image is a lie. The whole idea that they're high IQ, the whole idea that they're a moral people, that they're a good people, it's all lies. It's all lies. Open your eyes and look at them. Listen to them. These people are the devil that the Bible speaks of. 100%.
That's why Joe even said he stay with his dogs, man. They're despicable
They're
creature on the earth,
foul, disgusting people, man. And I watch a lot of these interrogation and these foul programs. The Edomites commit heinous crimes all the time. And the crimes they commit, sometimes they ain't even related to their environment. Dudes grow up in a nice home, just kill everyone.
Yeah. Tendency. Wanted to know what it felt like.
Yeah, bro. These men are heinous. Jake normally sociopathic. You know what I mean? Jake's a sociopath, so they like grow up in a bad home, messed up, and they do some crazy shit and some impulsive shit. These Edomites will grow up in a nice home, psychopathic.
Trying to act like the Dexter or something.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
No.
They'll act like that don't exist, man. Like Edomites don't sell drugs and do drugs. Let me tell you something. No one does more drugs than Edomites. Edomites do all the drugs too. Edomites, we've always known Edomites will take every drug, man. It's like when you get a bag of Rebels or something, but it's every flavor in there. Man. These men are on the white, they're on the brown, they're on the MDA, they invented the drugs. How come they don't get fucking what? So did a so-called Negro work out how to make crack? Give me a break. You said we're low IQ. You said we're low IQ. Are we low IQ or are we high IQ? Because how did a nigga know you could take baking soda, yeah, right, and mix it up with the cocaine and purify it?
It's like a lot of shit. You know, you're just in the food industry, right? There's ingredients that they put together. You can, how the fuck did they even think about using that to make this or crazy stuff?
Aspartame is the shit of E. coli.
Yeah, like how the fuck did that come into your mind? You know what I'm gonna do? Oh, this shit. I don't even know.
All these drugs, morphine. Jake don't make morphine. Morphine, which is really like a copy of heroin. But my point is that these Edomites, right? Jake gets the reputation of the negative side of drugs, when Esau is absolutely festivals. The roots, bro. The Edomite festivals are flowing with drugs. They just don't get policed.
Yeah, they would you call it? Because what Glasgow, that's what all of the Edomites love going to. And in there, you've got like drug testing centers. So obviously, they like drugs aren't allowed, but they know the drugs are there. So they'll have like centers where it's like, okay, is this good crack or bad?
Bro, they're all on the Charlie. These Edomites, you go into any pub in England tonight, man are in and out of that toilet, and they come out whooped. They're coming out like, ah. I've seen man in the toilet, father and son duo doing up lines. What are you talking about? But they don't get the reputation, or if they do, it's cool. Yeah, dude, Kawabanga. He's a rock star. He's a rock. He's just snorting down cocaine. He's a rock star. It's all glamour. But with Jake, it's like, yeah, he's a dirty drug dealer. He's a crack. Well, you know what I'm saying? These Edomites, it's just marketing with them. They're devils, man.
Real quick. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Which that word basis of men means the person that's in the lowest status. And that's who Esau was. At one point, he was the guy that was the lowest status. And all it was is the Lord gave him a pathway, and he went to the top. But he's still a pig. That's something that my grandmother always, them old munch-thrashing proverbs. You put a pig in the palace, and it will still remain a pig. Yeah, they might have the money and the prestige and the status in the world, right? But they're still the filthiest people. Beginning with the elites, they commit the most odious works of witchcraft. Filthiness. They're not clean and upright at all. Right. Oh, you know what? Quickly, I wanted to get Psalms 10 before we go back to
Can I finish?
Deuteronomy. Yeah.
It's back in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 6. It says, "Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in the youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us."
And they have done that through the evils that has been committed. They have enjoyed themselves in the earth more than any other. The luxurious lifestyle, the biggest middle class there's ever been. These men have enjoyed luxuries that the majority of the world just didn't enjoy. They were able to ship in things from all over the world and have things that even the people where they're from weren't able to have.
To this day, you get certain mans in Ghana and DRC that they don't know what chocolate tastes like. They cultivate it though.
It's true. They've been enjoying the fatness of the earth for a long time to set their nest on high. But that was achieved through wickedness. So they could go to Majestic Wines and have all these different wines from everywhere, like, and enjoy that. They can enjoy things on a regular that normal people don't enjoy. We're talking about, what I'm trying to explain to you is that socioeconomically, right, you've always had a very strong contingent of Edomites that have so much disposable income that the things that maybe you might do as a one-off, they could do like every day or every week. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And most people don't realize that. Like if you look at Jake, yeah, don't get me wrong, Jake has a middle class and an upper middle class. Like, so there's Jakes out there that got money. But as a percentage of Jake is a very small percentage. And if you take them and compare them over to the Edomites, they are a very small percentage of that particular socioeconomic group. So if you take all the Jakes that would be considered middle class and line up all the Edomites that are considered middle class, Jake would only be a small fraction as compared to it. Like there's way more millionaire Edomites than there are Jake now. There's way more billionaire Edomites.
And it only makes sense, man, because in the nations that we're in, and the Edomites, we're the minority anyway. So of course that percentage is even smaller compared to these middle class and higher upper middle class Edomites, man. So everything's really designed and catered for them. It's not our world, man.
But even in the countries where we dominate, it's the same. Like Brazil, the richest people in Brazil are not Jake. They're like Edomites, yeah, right? But then the majority of the Jake in that country are living below standard, hurt. So they think of it, when you're that hurt, you've never experienced a cruise. If you think about just take the example of a cruise. For the longest while, going on a cruise, it costs money. I've seen man that, listen, you're talking about $3,000 per person. Bro, most Jake will never go on I'm talking about a proper Caribbean cruise. To go on one, they might have to like retire and take some of their retirement money to go on one. If you go on one of them cruises, you're not going to see a lot of Jake. What you're going to see is a whole bunch of Edomites, because they're the people that readily have that kind of income.
Skiing's a perfect example of that. Because Edomites, that'll be like an annual thing as well. Because cruise, like you said, so that may be like, but skiing, Edomites every year they got to go skiing.
Yep.
Yo, look at how much skiing
was expensive. But to them it's nothing. You got families readily that they used to do a program about how the other half live. Yeah. And you got families that they literally have thousands of pounds of disposable income free every month. So when you got thousands of pounds, you basically, even if you got £2,000 disposable income, what can you not do? To live in London, if you're living in London on £2,000 disposable income, bro, man, you're going to the bar every time, you're getting bare takeout, you're going to Nobu and all those things all the time. Yeah. If man just get up and say, yo, bro, we're going Nobu. Yeah, it's nothing to go spend £200-300. Like, whereas you got 1,000. That's like a man's birth. Yeah. That's just that month. That's just that month. But then a Jake now would be saving up to go to Nobu when you're on the credit card, right? So this is what I'm trying to say is like when
once every 10 years type thing.
When it's talking about the wines and all these things and the luxuries, Esau Edom is really the one that's enjoyed these luxuries for the longest. I'm talking about as a mass of people. They simply have.
Yeah, it's for them. It's for them. And it's like, because you can say it's like because then when you do go Nobu, then you eat the food. It ain't even nice. It's not designed for Jake. It's designed for Esau.
Yeah, most luxury things. Yeah. Most holidays, luxury stuff are designed for Edomites. They're really the ones that had the money to do all these things, and regular too. They're the ones that would go on holiday 3 times a year, flying out somewhere.
So with 4 people as well. Sometimes you do the math, it's like it's a lot. So it's
And Jake got kids. Jay ain't going nowhere. But these men can go. That cruise is like a once in a lifetime, if they even do.
Christmas at
It's like
their
a
house,
once in a lifetime.
it's crazy. Christmas at their house is crazy.
Big grandma.
When they're getting the big presents like it's nothing. But it's just the reality, and it's a lot of them. People don't actually take into context how much more rich Edomites as a people are. Like there's a lot of Edomites that are in the middle class. The middle class is mainly them. It's not a lot of our. That's why a lot of our, we're more. So I'm sure ChatGPT would back us up. We're more associated with the working class. Most Jakes are in the working class. We're not Jay-Z's. We're not Jay-Z's, man.
You work, that's the higher you go up as well.
You know what I'm saying? Most Jake, like very few Jake even make it into the middle class. And remember, most families don't migrate up and down the socio-economic ladder. So you working class, your parents working class, everyone's working class. Right? Man are trying to get the degrees now, but by the time Jake start getting the degrees ain't worth nothing to make you middle class no more.
So they call it educational inflation, which I think was Labour. They're the in the UK. They're the ones that pushed everyone to go uni. But it reminds me of that saying. I thought maybe it was Rockefeller. But it was basically said like when you start hearing the shoe shine boy talk about something, you know it's done. It's like you're seeing Jake getting onto certain things. You know, getting into stocks and investment. It's like it's done.
It used to be like because people didn't realize, and this is where the disconnect happened. In our parents, like our grandparents' generation, getting a degree was a sure thing. If you got a degree, you guaranteed were going to be earning more than someone who didn't have it. Now, not so much because
You're paying so much more.
saturated. You're paying a lot more for it, and it's saturated. There's a lot more people with it now. Yeah, so we caught onto the degree thing late, like. But that's how it goes.
The book of Job 21 and 7. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are might in power. Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear.
The Edomites always ahead of the curve, man. We're always behind it.
They have
because the Edomites are creating the curve. They're setting things up for themselves. They're not watching you like, oh, what's gonna happen with you? They don't care what happens to you. You can catch on late. Fuck you, man. We're gonna make money off you.
And most Jake are starting from scratch. Yeah, you're building your life from scratch.
No safety.
Like I'll never forget, I was watching one program with an Edomite, right? And they were praising him because he's got this business. And they went through what actually happened. What happened? His dad bought him a limousine. He had a limousine chauffeuring company. His dad bought him a limousine, but he was 17. A limousine. Yeah. But then who was his first client?
His dad's friends.
All his dad's friends. Yeah. So then he used the money from his dad's friends to then buy another limousine, so on and so forth. Right? And I'm watching it thinking, no, I'm not hating because that's how life is supposed to be.
That's a legit way to
you shouldn't hate on people whose dad or their family because that's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed. The point is that you're really not supposed to start life from scratch. But most Jake start life from scratch. Most of these Edomites, right? They were able to. Their parents and that were able to buy a house and purchase things. Yeah, and now their houses are worth 1 million, and they had 2 kids. So as soon as they die, man sell the house. They both got 500K each. Yeah. So boom, now they're buying 2 houses each because they got deposit. They got money put in stocks and all this kind of stuff. So in terms of assets, these Edomites have been way ahead of us for a very long time.
So if I could say real quick, because there was actually a decent documentary explained on Netflix which went into like the quote racial wealth gap. One of the things that they touch on is let's say we both get shares and they both an Edomite and ourselves get 100K in those shares as an example. Jake has to help family. Yeah. Immediate. It's a okay. I need to piece this person off.
Yeah.
Need to piece that person off.
Yeah,
but the Edomite, that's just their money.
Yeah.
That's just that. They keep that. That's like, well done, son. The thing is, because Edomites, their parents can teach them that financial literacy, where it's like, actually, okay, cool, you're gonna pay tax. How much tax are you gonna pay? You're gonna pay 20K in tax. Okay, put that 20K in tax. It's not due for another year in a high interest savings account. So once you paid your tax, you just keep the interest that you've earned. Whereas Jake, there's certain financial literacy we're not told, and like I said, it's that thing of because it's our first generation having access somewhat to these things, we having to help our family.
Well, you know, we have a severe handicap.
Yeah.
You know,
Pressure
and it's never acknowledged.
And pressure and stress. Like when you're like, I was watching one thing and it was talking about these young athletes, right? And that's kind of changing now because even the whole athlete thing, poor Jake's again being pushed out of that. Now it's your dad had to be an athlete or you got money to make sure you get into the right school and get the right training. It's no longer like, even in football it's like that now. It's not so being a poor kid and making it now in most sports is going out the window. But before, when you think about it, the pressure, the man, imagine you're like 12 years old and you just so happen to be like 6 foot already. But at 12 years old, you're supposed to just be growing as a man, playing the sport to play the sport. All of a sudden now, your whole family is looking at you like you are going to save the whole fucking family.
Cash cow.
You're sitting there and your mom and your aunties are talking like, oh, you're going to buy your mama a house. Man's like,
get out of poverty.
and it's like, you might not even like basketball.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, you just got to do this thing, yeah, and you might not even make it because the pressure's on you from day one. It's fucking your brain up. And then it's true, that whole idea of family, there's a lot of footballers, that's why they end up broke, because especially these guys that come from the favelas, yeah, they're very family orientated. So you got certain footballers that they come over to Europe, they might put them on 50k a week, yeah, and man's thinking, okay, 50k a week. But remember, half of that's gone straight away. So you're really 25k a week, right? But these men have got 50 strong entourage, 50 people strong. They got all their cousins, boom, 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 and they're giving out their money. Like their whole family is living off them. But they remember, footballers and athletes have a very short career. It's not like you're like a big boy that you earn this money forever. When you're an athlete, people forget that you got your first contract is weak as hell. Your first contract for most athletes is peanuts. Your second contract, if you're good, gets better. You really only get, in most sports, if it's football, one good contract, and that's your contract when you're like 26. That's that 26 2-year contract that you're gonna get, yeah, because you know when you get 30, unless you're Modric, all of a sudden, yeah, they drop the years on the contract down. They want to drop the money because they're trying to weed you out now. Most man, by the time they get to 30, 31,
he's getting old.
He's getting old, and we're trying to drop him down now.
He ain't got the legs anymore.
That's why Ivan Toney took the money. He went to Saudi because he's like, I'm already 28. Saudi's offering me money. I ain't really been getting no money, like that, so I might as well just cash out now. I ain't got the time, innit? So you got to think about that, man. And then you got, like you said, you got family that want money from you all the time because they're broke. So you need to help them, and they're always fucking up. This sister needs this. This sister needs that. Your mom needs this. And you see all of the time on social media, these rappers and that getting a beef with their mom and their uncle, and they're like, oh, he ain't never give me something, and he has. But they think, with Jake, once you start earning money, they think you're like a bank, that you got unlimited funds to just be giving them.
Well, the scripture speaks about, wages going into your pocket, holes. It's like it's always leaking out. The money you're making is always leaking out.
Them Edomites don't live like that. Them Edomites.
And for Esau, it's like recycling money because it goes back to many.
Did Tom Brady ever say, I bought my mama a house?
I don't know if he came rich, but most of these dudes, whether they like people like Kaka, you look at Kaka came from money already. So Kaka didn't have to give his parents no money. You know what I'm saying? Like someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, he's different. He don't give no one money but his sister and shit. Like he gave a little bit here and there, but he keeps most of the money to himself. But most of these guys, they're not like that. They feel like Evra had like 18 brothers and sisters. Yeah, man. If you read about Evra's story, it's a mad story. His mom was a single mom. The dad ran off because obviously there's too many kids. So he was like, fuck this. Yeah. So he ducked out. So it was like 18 of them or some dumb ungodly number. Yeah. So he's got a whole hundreds of nephews and nieces, and he's like, they're all looking at me like, you know what I'm saying? So he's got to be buying this present, but they don't want to say no, innit? It's like,
and he don't pay no more.
Exactly. That's why he don't pay no more.
That's he says that. He says that. So it's like, yo, like, where am I gonna get this money from? Imagine that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Man don't want to say, oh, F them. So you're right. A lot in Slovakia, in a lot of Jake, when they do get money, because the people around them are so down bad, they kind of get weakened by that. And that's why strength builds strength. When the people around, that's why we say even in the camp, brothers get jobs, get jobs, get your money up. Because it helps when we all got bread. So that even if we need to help, man, it ain't really fucking a man up to help because we can all chip in and it helps. Like, but if there's one brother working or two brothers working and like 5 of them man are on the dole, it hurts the man. The 2 men that are working are hurt. They're under bare stress and strain and they can't help build themselves up and you just gonna be parasitical. And that's why Jake can't get nowhere, man, because we're just, like I said, as soon as you get the peas, you got to shell it out. You can't build off that. That's not building nothing. I need to pay a light bill now. You got to give my money.
Yeah.
Go on, man.
It's Deuteronomy chapter
Oh,
28.
look at Pompa's brother,
Oh shit. Yeah.
Adebayo, yeah. His wife took his shit.
Hey.
Good.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 19. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. And the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me.
So there's always these different situations and angles that end up just fucking Jake over. Like the brother made a very good point. Your family is a big part of it. You being in a poor family helps to keep you poor because they're not ever really going to help you. You're going to be helping them. You're helping your parents. You're helping your grandparents. But you're helping. But these Edomites ain't got to do that. Their grandparents are fine. So they just, their money is their money and they can build off that.
Grandparents, because I heard, I've got to tell some stories, man. Well, yo, them Edomite grandparents, man, here it is with the guys like 40. Like, yeah, mom's, I'm buying a new car. Oh, here you go. Like, here it is. She's on her pension. She's still trying to give him a grand or something. I was like, damn. Is that how the Edomites live, man?
That's why you got to give, you got money, give family members a net, not a fish,
Yeah.
They got to have to, make their own money.
The first car, these Edomites get their first car. Yeah. They get help with their deposit on their first house. Yep. Whereas you ain't getting all that help, man. So you already down bad. If they start a business, they can go to the bank of mom instead of the bank, or the bank of dad instead of the bank. So they're not under the same constraints that you are. Yeah. All these things matter in terms of living and doing, or that degree, instead of getting the what's it called? The debt that comes with the degree, their parents paid for the degree.
Yeah.
So you're already less stressed with just doing your thing.
Yeah, especially how much the uni is now, and I believe they've changed the rules as well on like the interest payments or something. But the long story short, you're earning a good wage. If you had gone uni, the government's still like every month. Like,
and like when you put everything's more expensive.
Yes.
Right? Like car insurance, for instance. You could pay for the whole year. Yeah. And it'd be cheaper than paying monthly.
I've seen that.
But when you don't have the whole year to pay, like you pay monthly, right? That's what most Jake do that.
Right? I've even seen a man get cheaper. I used to work in insurance and I've seen single mothers come and calling up, crying down the phone because I'm putting in the calculations on some car that's worth £400 and it's coming out at $2,000. And then I've literally just come off the phone with Edomite with a flipping big range X5. Man got the premium one. I gave man the double flipping breakdown, family breakdown cover, everything. And the whole policy for like 3-4 cars came to $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, like you put a run, I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, whatever. Man don't even, and when with them dudes, they don't really even care about the numbers. You could hear it. Like, yeah, oh, and I'll be like, yeah, I can add this. Yeah, what was it? Okay, cool, add that. Boom, boom, boom. And then meanwhile, I'm trying to do bare magic tricks to get this damn flipping woman's thing down, and it ain't budget. It's like $2,000. He's like, oh, can't you do anything else now? But my man, or they used to get the daughter's car, and the Fiat 500. It's the standard thing. They get the Fiat 500 for the daughter, bought brand new, and man's getting the insurance, and then you calculate it, and the insurance, because she's a youth, comes up to like 1,500. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, she's costing me a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, but it's not, a stress. It's costing me a lot of money, but, oh man, and when she does her gap year, she's going to travel the world. So I've got to give her money there too. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this? This bitch got a brand new car, insurance paid for, and she going to get travel the world money.
Jake just don't know. I got something.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, probably the same one.
But it's all good. It's all good. This is their time.
It's like the beautiful thing is that all of those things are now coming away from them.
Yeah.
They're starting to feel the pain
That's it.
because it's like when the mortgage rates. It's something I always say. It's like Jake. When let's say Jake earns $1,000 a year, just a random number, right? We'll buy a yard that is equivalent to that, right? Whereas these Edomites, they all buy yards that are equivalent to what they're on. But when their interest rates went up, that affected everyone. So it's like, yeah, okay, you were able to afford that £1 million house, but like, okay, now you're paying the mortgage.
But living standards has gone down, bro.
Yeah,
Like that.
energy bills, they went up for everyone.
It's chipping away at the middle class, especially, which is what it's designed to do. That's why they're blaming the immigrants.
And the scriptures speak about don't envy the oppressor, man, or the wicked, right? Is that what you got there? Okay, I won't say no more. Let me read this verse. Read this, right? It's Psalm 73, verse 5. Verse 3, right? It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. They don't have the same problems and issues, man. Like we're going through. Jake got a lot of issues to deal with, and so even if Jake is doing well, it's still tough, man. And they're really being held back.
Assassin had a tune called Hand to Mouth. Yeah, hand to mouth, but that's how Jake been living, man.
Hey, just a paycheck, man. It's real.
Their man calling. Jake always calling you when they need something, man. This cousin calling you, can you lend me £20? Can you lend me this, lend me that, man? You ain't even got it, man. Fuck it. If you give it to man, you might never get it back anyway.
And then when you give it to them, they always keep coming around because they know you got it.
It's mad.
But they don't ever think about your situation. They're only ever concerned about their own, their situation. They it's not a thing to ask for them, but for you to shut it out, it's like it's a lot. You keep doing it over and over again. Like,
listen, I don't come from rich people, man. But when I hear, my grandmother and them talk about how they grew up in their life,
crazy.
Bro, it's crazy. Man, my great grandmother used to sell stones. Go and find smooth stones to sell. Great grandma was a fisherman. They had to eat fish. They ate what man catch to eat. If man didn't catch nothing more time, they want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Them man were living poor. Some man could go to school, some man couldn't. You got to pay for school. You know what I'm saying? Them man have to make their own clothes. Man ain't getting no brand name thing. Man ain't going to no big restaurant. Small island things, you get me? That's how them man live. Bare chicken back. Ask them old school people, they know. Them man love the chicken neck, the chicken back, chicken foot, all them things.
Even on it.
Yes, but I'm still eating. Ain't that? But I'm saying the back and neck here is not. You know back and neck here. You can't even really buy back and neck here like that. Here you can't. Back home they sell the back and neck. Yeah. But and the chicken foot and all that, because that's poor people food. Them man don't know nothing about the chicken breast. Like you come to England, when man eat a chicken curry, they expect it. They don't even want bone in there. They want the pure breast meat. But that's what they're used to. Whereas man are eating the back and neck pilau and them things there. The poor people things. Sometimes I have to get on my grandmother now. I catch her with some chicken foot. I'm like, what are you doing with that, man? We can afford better, but that's how they grew up. That's the kind of stuff they like. They like to eat that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're conditioned, bro. Cause that's how they grew up, man. They grew up poor, man. So I know about poor people things. You know what I'm saying? Like these Edomites, on the whole, never know nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying some of them might not, but I'm saying on the whole, they don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You had Deuteronomy 7 because we was gonna get on them Canaanites and go back to Wisdom of Solomon 12, right? But real quick, get what you're getting, and then before we get Psalms 10, and then we'll jump back.
Proverbs 3:31, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways.
That's why, look, man, Esau got what he's got through lack of morality and wickedness. Now, a lot of Jake jump on that same trend, and that is the spirit. Everyone knows the lyrics, yeah? Do what you gotta do if it's getting you shit. That's the spirit of hip hop, the spirit of black culture. Like whatever you get to, what they call it, get to the bag.
That's Esau.
That's Esau's spirit. And now that spirit is on our people. They'll do anything to they twerk for the bag. As long as the what they call it, the bags justify the means.
Yeah.
That's what them man are on. Them man would disgrace themselves for the bag. Them man would kill their best friend for the bag.
Or go to Dubai.
Because they're thirsting after that lifestyle. They want the rich man's lifestyle. Yeah, so they're willing to do anything to get to that lifestyle, sell out the whole business.
That's why I said this world will destroy you, man.
Yeah,
You know.
but guess what? The end of Esau, because they don't understand that Esau's gonna pay for everything he's done. It's gonna come back to him in its fullness.
It looks good now.
Yeah.
You know, those are these. But look what we're talking about. Even these other Edomites are falling down into you know bad times for them, and that's gonna the same things that happen to the elite.
Yeah.
Right? They think they're untouchable because you think they've got so much money and power. You think how they're gonna come down.
Yeah.
Right, but even they're gonna come down, man.
They're gonna go down to real poor people. Like,
And that's why I really like the ending of Psalm 73 because it goes into that. At first, like, man, you know, I saw them, they were living good, right? But then it's like, but then I understood that their latter end was hell.
yeah, they're gonna pay for all of this pain and all this wickedness that they've done. That prestige that they've bought themselves is gonna disappear, and it's gonna disappear like slippery places. It's gonna disappear quick, and they're gonna go from living like, and I'm talking the luxurious living, the Harrods lifestyle. Like sometimes I go through Harrods, man. You go through the home section, you're like, yo, that's nice. Like, ooh, I like that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
oh, look at that sofa. It's like $5,000. Like, that sofa's nice. You go, I could have a nice yard, nice big yard. This man's got nice living place. Sometimes I look at my house, I'm grateful, but I'm just like, yo,
that could do an upgrade.
yeah. I just want something nice, man.
Because Edomites, they can have all the furniture matching.
Yeah,
Because
man.
they know they'll get a guy.
Or a
I'm
set.
like, yeah, it'll be a set.
Yeah.
Like, you know, certain, like for us, let's say you've got a little bit of space and you can't really fit something in that space. Edomites will get custom.
Custom made, man. Yeah,
Matching wallpaper to go with it, everything.
the paintings and all that, man. Yeah, you get all the nice things there. That's all good, but we gotta get it the right way.
That's right.
We gotta get it the right way, and that way is through Yahweh Shai.
I was going to mention it's the same thing. Ezra was speaking with the angel of the Lord, right? When the Babylonians, they were living in good. They were in the rulership, right? They were living good, and it was like, why are they in a position that they were in? But we're the Lord's chosen people, right? So it's the same thing we're having to kind of witness and enjoy now that the Edomites are in power right now, doing their thing, but the Babylonians were going to go down, right? That's what the Lord was telling them. Same thing with these Edomites; they're going to go down, you know, and we're going to have our place in the world, which is at the top.
Yeah, we're gonna get
on the
all
Yahweh Shai.
we're gonna get the spoils. We're gonna get the nicest, the finest meals, the luxury goods, the A class of everything. Where we go is gonna be the A class of everything. Man ain't gonna go a place and it's bare rubbish and bare ghetto-ish, man. Everywhere we go, it's the upper room status. You get me? You know them ones there, like that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom. The VIP status, man. Everything's smelling good. Never frowsy. Man, I was on the pick the other day on the way to work, yeah? Bro, some frowsy dude was farting on the damn... Yeah, because you know what, at first I never clocked it, yeah? So I went in there, and it was there, and there was some gal sitting in front of me, innit? And then I heard a little shh, and then I smelled, and it was some nice thing. I'm thinking, bro, I was cursing out in my head. I'm thinking, why the fuck is this bitch, yeah? Just sprayed fucking... It smelled nice still, but why have you sprayed perfume in a damn pick, like, and it's all... Then, when that started to fade, I understood, like, some frowsiness come up in my nose. I'm like, oh, there's someone farting on the damn fucking train, yeah? I'm thinking, what the bumper club? Like, man's head will get removed. That's very drastic still, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, I have to hold a few licks for that still. But I'm saying, like, why? Because, man, I brought pockets, so, man, I got to be, instead of, man, traveling the helicopter and that, yeah? You got to travel on the pick here with some frowsy dudes, man. Sometimes you get on the train and there's some homeless dudes sitting across from you, just stanking out the whole joint, man. Like with the bomber club, man. You feel a rough chances? Nah, fam. They ain't trying to hear that.
They don't ride the tube.
Yeah.
They don't ride tube, man. They're not on the no one's armpits.
Oh,
the no one's armpits.
them frowsy.
The Elamites after work. Oh, man.
Bro, frowsy. Elam, after work in the morning, brother. In the morning, blood. The district line in the morning is crazy. Frowsy as you like. That's what happens when you're broke pocket. Your surroundings, your environment is of lesser quality, man. You go to the nice areas of London, what you know is it's clean. It's clean, everything looks better, the buildings are painted. Then you go to the ends and it's just rubbish everywhere. Even though man are paying bare council tax.
Yeah. But what it does is it helps from the perspective of the elite. It helps keep those people in that environment, in that
Mind
mental
trap, yeah.
mind trap, yeah. You know, because they even go into like the effects of greenness in your local area. What's one of the other things you see when you go to affluent neighborhoods? You get lots of greenery,
private gardens.
private gardens, yeah.
Because out Earl's Court, you get them little
Yeah,
private. You
yeah,
have to
yeah,
keep
yeah,
to get
yeah,
into the gate. And a lot of when you're paying them, a lot when you go to them expensive restaurants, so a lot of what you're paying for is the aesthetics.
Yeah, and not to be around niggas.
Yeah, the ambiance. You know, ambiance matters, man. So in the kingdom, our ambiance is always going to be everything clean, everything polished, everything smelling nice. Man are gonna have the best, the Tom Ford, you know what I mean? The top perfume, the top oils, like smelling proper, you know what I mean? Like,
real oud.
the real oud, like
Yeah.
we're gonna bring it back, like you know them. Anyway, go on, man. But that's what's coming. Yeah. Psalms 10. Yeah, Psalms 10. Yeah, Psalms 10.
Psalms 10 says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Yahweh?"
Oh, and brothers, man, listen, perfume helps your day, man. It's aromatherapy. Ever since I started getting certain like quality perfumes, it makes me feel better, man. I'm just telling you the truth. It's aromatherapy. Like there's something about that's why the royals always had the nice smells. There's something about good smells. Get good incense for your house. Quality ones, not the shitty ones, man. You know what I'm saying? Good quality scents. It actually can change. It's aromatherapy. It can change your mood. It can change your mentality. You know, in your yard, man. Frowsiness breeds frowsiness. Yeah, bro. You feel better, bro. Come on, you know that's why man do it. Look, okay, even when it's women, you can get a good-looking woman, right? And she just normal, but you know she spray on that goodness. Yeah, it's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? Now you wanna. It's different, like you know, you walk past a woman and she's looking good, and then you're like, oh, yeah, it takes it to a whole different level, man. Same thing if you got your shit on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That smells good.
I mean, different plants, they're long as well.
Yeah. It affects shit, man. I always try and put nice smells in my yard, man. You know what the worst thing is when you've gone out and you forgot to take the bin out, right?
Yeah.
Told me and you say, no, actually, you know, listen, you know, I'm a human, man. I know man think because we're the men of the Lord, like we don't listen, but sometimes I'll be getting home from a long day at work, and certain people, instead of just taking the bins out, they leave it for me to do. Yeah, but it's now been there in a little space for hours.
Yeah.
So I open the door, and the first thing that hits me is the smell of the bin. And now I just want to dabble in domestic violence. Man. But if I do that, you know, I'm going to get kicked out of jail. Now I'm fucking angry, man. Everyone has to get it, man. The woman, the kids. I'm just beating everyone. No, I'm joking. Man. We don't beat it. The cat, yeah. You know, but that's the spirit of pussy room, bro. It hits me. And the first thing I think is like, I have to pick up the bin and put it. And then the worst thing is, pick the bin up, you go put the stuff in the bin, and you have to come back to the door, and you still smell it. And I'm walking in angry, bro. I'm ready to just, you know, but that just shows like the bad smells, man. I'm telling you, it affects your shit.
It's also like good memory as well.
Yeah.
Like smells and memories. That's why, for instance, wear a good cologne around a woman. Next time she smells that, she's just thinking of you and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah, man. So get yourself some good, you know, some good Tom Ford or whatever. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. If you get the peas, get a nice perfume that's decent and natural oils in there as well if you can. And brothers be on it, man. And I'm telling you, it changes your confidence. It changes your mood. You know what I'm saying? It's aromatherapy, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We're just throwing it out there.
Well, when you look at the law, you see how particular that the Lord was. When it came to certain like incenses, there was one where the Lord said, "If I see any of you even try and make it for yourself, I'm gonna kill you." It was a special
oils and ointments,
you know.
So yeah, brothers be into them scents, man. You know, so you get into the science of and there's different scents too. There's summer ones, there's winter ones, you know, that drive certain spirits, man. Not evil spirit, I mean like vibration.
Yeah. So
yeah, we're just throwing that out there, man. You know, we do what we can to help, man, because this world will have you depressed, bro.
Yeah. When you get that back to you felt nice. You see a chick, you feel confident. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm the shit.
Say something else. So Psalms 10 says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Yahweh? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked, in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the device that they have imagined."
Yeah, they're basically everything about Esau is to just violate the people, beginning with the Israelites, man, to crush us socio-economically so we'll be slaves. And that's not changed. And it's getting even worse because remember, they said you will own nothing. So they're about to make it even worse. You see, stagflation is coming to America, man. And we don't spoke about these things. They're gonna purposely, Trump ain't there to save America. And I told you this a long time ago. Trump and Powell and all these different agents of the system are not there to do things that's going to save you and all of a sudden uplift your lifestyle.
They're demolition men.
They're demolition men. They're there to destroy you so that you could like beg for the new system.
And you know how demolition men do it? They do it safely because there's a way to do it. It's controlled, right?
Takes
You don't
time.
just control everything. It's done in a particular manner, man. So that's what's going on.
So things are going to get more expensive. It's going to be the squeeze. They're going to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze until it all breaks down. But then they're going to go, well, we got this new system that we've got, conveniently ready if you want to jump on that. And people going to want to jump on it because the old system, they're already showing you that old system was broken, but it was broken on purpose. It was designed to do exactly what it's doing now. The middle class is being destroyed by design. The cost of living is crazy by design. It's not an accident. This is all being done on purpose, man.
It's like what he can do once again going into his PR and witchcraft and machinery is right. They're basically putting in these quote unquote madmen in Trump, and they're like, you see Trump, this is Trump's policies, but it's like he's got a team behind him, right? Even if you come up with that, like he sat up all night and wrote a 500-page
the
document,
big
like,
beautiful bill.
a big
He's
beautiful
not an
bill.
economist.
He might have named it.
Yeah.
That's about as far as it went.
Esau knows how to pull the strings all over in different areas to affect the people and knows how long it takes to affect people too. He could do something now that he knows is going to affect you in 6 months and he'll be like, oh, see, nothing happened.
Because it's not the first time he's done it.
No.
He's constantly experimenting on the people and certain events and that kind of stuff. So he knows how long and how you're going to react and different types of things.
And they're all working together.
Yes.
They got you thinking that Powell is fighting against Trump. They ain't that's just for you.
Yeah.
That's theater. The Fed and the government work hand in hand for one purpose, to destroy your pockets, man. Simple as that.
It says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Psalms 10 and 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Because you see, at the end of the day, when you prey upon the weak, the Most High don't like that, man. The scriptures say that you're supposed to really stand up for the weak. You're supposed to stand up for the poor. You're supposed to stand up for the widow. You're supposed to stand up for the fatherless. You're not supposed to come in and see that someone's fatherless and use that as an advantage. No, the Lord will bless you if you bless the fatherless. People are, oh, hey, I helped him. Now, if you prey upon the weak, you're weak to the Most High. The Most High will return the favor. Oh, you like preying on the weak? Because you think you're strong? Okay, I'm going to show you how a strong entity preys on a weak entity. Then you're going to find out what it's like to be on the other end of that. Because to the Lord, we're all fatherless. We're all weak. In the scriptures, it tells you that. In our society, you were supposed to see the widow and not take advantage of the widow. Help the widow. Help the poor. But Esau's spirit is the opposite of that. He preys upon the poor.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Am I my brother's keeper? He'll destroy you and use you to elevate himself and leave you in the mud. With pride, not knowing that the Lord has made you a caretaker over these people. And this is what you've done? Okay, now I'm going to do with you. Because they're not your people. They're really the Lord. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So you go around abusing everything around you, the Lord's going to hold you accountable for that.
And then this is the thing, when you're put up as a ruler, right? It's really a duty of care for your citizens, for your peoples, right? And that's what was made clear to what's it, man? When David and Saul, they were made king, right? They were told that, man, this is the job. It's not just playboy status lifestyle. You're gonna just go live for yourself. No, you're gonna support your people, man. Esau doesn't want to do that. Esau wants to leech off the people.
He's a
To
parasite.
take more for himself.
He operates like a parasite.
And that's why they come up with these ideas about your own nothing. That's unrighteous, man.
Yeah, man.
That's unrighteous.
Just bringing in systems that you know that you've made it where people rely on jobs because they don't have their own means of production, and you
You're
purposely
taking all
bring
the
in a
land. You're
situation,
taking all the land. You're
Yeah.
taking all the jobs.
and then
what
you
do
leave
do?
them in a situation where they ain't got nothing they can do. You're an asshole.
And you know for a fact, when you say you own nothing, right? You know that's not talking about yourself. You know that's not talking about you because you're gonna have everything, man.
You have control.
Larry
of the
Fink
system.
and all these dudes, they're gonna have all this shit, man. You, the common people, are gonna have nothing.
It's like in France, they've got a law. In France, they've got a law where it's like if you can do the journey by train in like an hour, they ban flights, right? Apart from private jets.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly how
One,
they live.
one rule for them,
Yeah.
another for for you, another for them.
Mm.
You know, and that's how it's always been. Now, these men get away with so much more than you could ever get away with. You can't evade. You can't tax evade. He's on your case. These men can find all kinds of loopholes, man, because they've got the power and means to do it. They've got people in position to do it. You know,
Oppression. That's
PR
what it
and
is.
everything.
And they terrorize you, man.
So can I go back to
Yeah.
and read this so quickly? Because we're back on that point.
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 6 says, "Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present." This is the wicked speaking, right? And let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth, right? They're here to use the creation, not to help it, not to to live equal and balance with it. No, they're here to use it, right? It says, "Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness."
Yeah, they want it all and they want it now. They want it all and they want it now, man. No patience, just greed. Massive amounts of greed, man. Like for a man to want to be a trillionaire, oh, you don't even need trillions, man. And it comes, you realize there comes a point, yeah, where you have enough money that getting more money doesn't change anything.
Just everybody else.
But yeah, like, most people don't even realize that there's a level where you've got enough money that there's nothing more you can do in terms of your everyday life. Like, because what do? You eat, you sleep, clothes, entertainment, these things, right? How much disposable income do you really need, yeah, in order to enjoy those things? And like, how much is an doubling that actually? You can't double the pleasure just because you double the money. Like, there's only so much restaurants you can eat in, like, and once you get to the point you can eat in a high-end restaurant every day, how much more money do you need? How you got what? Only other thing you could do more than that is clone yourself. This is only one you, isn't it? How many cars do you think you need? You can only drive one car at a time. There comes a point that if you got 10 cars, like for you personally, if you have 1,000 cars, it almost don't matter. It's actually probably worse because you never even use one of the shit just becomes dumb. But we live in a world where these men, you got a very few that have got just so much wealth that they can't even enjoy. They only just enjoy knowing the fact that you don't have it.
Yeah, they don't. You say this.
They say this, man. Like, we're gonna be rich in the kingdom, but like we're gonna be blessed, but we're not gonna be greedy. Like, you're not gonna just amass like things for the sake of things. Like, let some other people have some, man. God damn, like, is it that deep? Like, why does one man need to be a, what they call a trillionaire? Elon Musk, like, they say he's the richest man in the world, right? Whatever. Got all this money, right? If he doubled the amount of money he's had, would he double his life? Like, as in he enjoy life more?
Can you do something that he couldn't do before?
No. There comes a point where you're just a millionaire. You got everything you want. Your kids, it's very simple. You can get your kids things when they need stuff. You can help people that you want to help. You can start building projects if you want to build projects. And still got money, like, for the rainy day. Like, that's all people want.
By this point, you ain't got to worry about generational wealth, about your children's children, because your children got money to give
They're
more money
building
anyway.
something,
Like,
yeah.
so it's like,
How much land do you need?
Did a quick thought experiment. So if you spend £10,000 a day for a year, for 70 years, that's only 255 million. So then you think about a billion.
yeah, once you get the billion status, it's like, there's nothing else. There's nothing else.
What are you going to
What are you
spend
doing?
40 grand a day for?
It's almost impossible to spend it unless you're just wasting it at that point. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like this society is crazy, man. It's just mad.
And even that, man, you can chuck in money all day, bro. Even that, it will take you a long time to do that, bro. It's just it's
If the world is out of balance, yes, you're always gonna have rich people, and you're always gonna have people that have less. But this world has a massive extreme, and it's the extreme that's causing a problem. Because why should a guy be a trillionaire, but then another Donny's down there living off $1 a day?
Yeah.
That other guy could live on like $10 a day at least, and you would still wouldn't never notice it.
Yeah.
This is how crazy the world is.
But this inequality, I use that term. But this inequality that Esau's the one that's created it.
Yeah.
You know, he's got people so down bad that it's really unnecessary. No one should be that damn bad. And that's why in the kingdom, under our rulership, even though we're going to punish your ass for 1,000 years, right? You're not going to be as bad as man are, you know, in this world today.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's no need for these extremes. It's crazy. That's just ordered
Everything.
There, go on. We're not sadists, man. It's a very sadistic individual that just wants to see everyone for no reason. Just
We're actually
down
reasonable people. We're actually reasonable
bad.
people.
Time.
Yeah, hey, don't get twisted. You got a judgment to come, like, but that's reasonable because you've done mad wickedness.
We're not talking about you Edomites, by the way. You're fucked. Like,
Yeah, you're done.
you're cool. No, we're just talking in general how life should be on the planet. Like, you know, even the poor people should be all right. You know?
Yeah, but it's especially like now as more and more people in the West get hurt, what they're doing, I think there's space on this side, bro. What more and more people are doing is they are moving to like the quote third world. They're moving to Thailand and these places. What's that doing to the local Thai people? Then it's angry, yeah, angry because then they can't now afford houses.
Shit, I mean, I'm from here, but when I was in Ghana, man, I thought these fuckers, everything, the price of shit's going up.
But how is it, yeah? Mans are telling me like they go to like certain countries and for £2, man said he's getting a 4-hour massage and all this shit.
Yeah.
And you just think to yourself like, so them man over there living off £2 then, like stuff like that. The whole system of the world is fucked. It's fucked. And it's by design, isn't it? You can thank Esau for that. Yeah. It ain't gonna be this way.
Enthusiastic and sustainably free. And a wise king destroys his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
All this exchange rates and unbalanced currencies, all this bullshit, it's gonna have to go.
Yeah.
There's really should be only one currency, and that's a measure of an actual asset. And then you trade based upon that. All this, my dollar's stronger than your dollar crap, is gonna go. But that's all Esau set that up to artificially boost himself. Fractional reserves.
As soon as it came fiat currency, all that stuff's redundant, man. The dollar, this and the pound, the measurements don't measure anything.
And it's a stealing. When you really break it down, it's artificially stealing wealth from others, man. It's a demon, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, you finish
it. Back in Wisdom Solomon 2 verse 9, it says, let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this. It is your time. This is your lot right now. And so you're gonna live it to the max.
They're the ones, Edomites are the big travelers.
Yeah.
Fucking America.
Yeah,
You ever been?
Yeah.
You ever?
Jake visit. They
travel, bro. Listen, every time I've gone anywhere, I've always run into some American.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, they're obnoxious, man.
Obnoxious.
They're like, I remember when I was in Venice here, we went to Venice. And these motherfuckers was there like, oh my God, look, there's a pigeon. Hey, Jeremy, they got pigeons over here. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people, man? They got pigeons over here. Oh my God, look, there's a pigeon. And then man sitting there on the man went to go on the gondola to my woman. Yeah, cause GMS, we don't have to sauce up the gal, man. Man said, well, GMS hate women, man. I took the gal on the gondola and thing, man. You know them ones, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Don't tell him I know how to sauce up the gal. Anyway, man went to go on the gondola, but obviously man didn't have the key, so it's a shared one. Yeah, you gotta make it work somehow. Yeah? So it's gonna be 4 people on the gondola, right? So I see there was an American couple, and this gal, big bird, like she was fat. Yeah. Anyway, man was
fat or Benjamin?
No.
Right.
Fat. American. Yeah. American bread.
You know, basically, fuck, yeah.
No, not the good fat, not the PH. It's not the PH, the FAT thing, yeah. So man are gone to go on this gondola now, yeah. So man jumped on it quick because I see them, so you could get the best seat, which is the one at the head, innit? It's like, you know, so man sat there. Bro, the bitch come and jumped on the thing, yeah. The bumper clock ticks like a rocket. I'm like, what the Ross? Anyway, we're on the damn boat, right? And the dude's going over, like, you know, he's saying this bridge was built, and this damn American woman would have shut the hell up. And she was just asking the most dumbest questions, yeah? Like, oh, this bridge? Is this the iron bridge? That bitch, you see, it's iron, bro. Why are you asking these questions? It's obnoxious. And then you talk to them, it's like, yeah, you know, yeah, because we've been to Rome. And they just start, they have to tell you everywhere they've been. And they literally just been almost damn near everywhere. Yeah, that's an Edomite thing. It's not really a Jake thing.
Which is sort of like how now it's now Jacob passport, bro. Esau's like, I didn't even put a title on it when I was doing.
Yeah, they were just going. They were just going, and Jake is going to specific places.
Yeah,
I'm talking about these Edomites go traveling. They be in China, some random place. Like they be going all over. Edomites are the ones that do the round the world thing.
Yeah, because they're fugitive.
You know what I mean? I was saying it. Random Cindy, she's somewhere in flipping Papua New Guinea. Tibet and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You actually go to another country where it's a niche bar that only the locals know. And Steve, the local Edomite, it's known in the area. It's always there.
It's always there, yeah, man.
Why you here, man?
They got the piece to be traveling, and like I said, they unturn every stone. They go everywhere, man. They're all over the place.
Verse 10, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grey hairs of the age. So like he's going back to what you're saying earlier, they've got no morality. They've got no morality, man. They don't care. Whatever they can do and they can get away with, they're going to do it. You know, don't care if they hide behind the Bible, talk about I'm a Christian and that. They don't give a shit about the Bible. And it's evident. It's evident they don't care about the scriptures, man. They're doing what only feeds their own lusts, man. It says, let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble.
The strength and meaning might is right. We do what we can get away with because we enforce. Even if you have the laws is nothing without enforcement. I can make a law right now. I can make a law right now. I can make one up right on the spot, right? A man could come through and not do it. I have to have the power to enforce that law. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what you say. So that's where Esau has the power. Because Esau can make a law and enforce it and choose when to enforce it as well. Because he's got the bully boys that can go around.
So he can make a law, he can take a law away.
Yep.
So yeah, so let our strength be the law of justice.
Oh, that's how America operates. That's why you see Trump trying to strong arm small nations and the Christians are clapping it. Oh, it's like, okay, so that's what you want to do, just bully people. That's the Christian way.
And that's why it's important for America to keep its hegemony. You keep hearing that word hegemony, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's so key important for them to do it. They'll never give up power because they won't be able to do what they're doing. You know?
And all because the American people are losing some of the wealth they had, but they're not considering that the rest of the world have always been living even lower than you are now. But they don't care. Yeah, Trump, do what you're doing. It's like, even if it means that the third world becomes a fourth world, they'll be clapping. We'll turn that into the fifth world if it means that I can still have 3 cars. You know what I mean?
This is the thing. America is speaking, right? Richer than ever. America's still doing good.
Yep.
Right, but where is that money? Where is it gone?
Elon and them.
You know? So America itself is doing good. You know, they're making more money than they've ever made. So technically you're doing better and better. But what's not translating is it's not going down to
they call it trickle down economics.
It's not happening.
Because again, when you're amassing trillions, how does that trickle down? Because you're not going to spend trillions.
Sure.
If I give a man a contract for $2 billion, how's it going to trickle? Who's it going to trickle down to? There's only so much massages you could buy. You're not going to spend all that money. If anything, you're going to buy more of your own assets, but you're not going to be spending it like that. So it's not going to trickle down anywhere. Yeah. So when you see these men get these big government contracts, most of that stays within that group of people. It doesn't go down to everyone. That's why the military-industrial complex, the average American doesn't really benefit from these wars. But they pay for it, though, in your taxes.
Let us strengthen the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. They don't respect the weak. They don't respect the poor, the widow. They don't. They're all to be taken advantage of, man. In their eyes.
Yeah, look at the court system. The court system favors who's got the big money for the big lawyers, or who can sustain the case.
Yeah.
A lot of time, that's the bully tactic.
Yeah,
The bully tactic is the
war of attrition.
to prolong the case
Yeah.
so that man can't afford to fight the case.
I saw on a plantation, you brothers mentioned DuPont and the fine that they had. They dragged that out for like 20 years. Like even the main guy that was fighting, died. You know what I mean? But it was like literally they actually knew that the non-stick and Teflon was toxic in like the 40s.
Yeah,
And it was only in the 90s, early 2000s where they was actually trying to change things. But by then, they found it cheaper to just keep the case going and keep the propaganda going at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Because
like
they were still able to sell the
Yeah.
products at the time, weren't they?
sorry.
They were still able to sell their products.
Yeah.
during the thing,
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been found out yet.
Yeah. And then they would simply get their own body to dispute your claims.
Because even here, I noticed that the coating on the pans, they changed. Obviously, they changed it since then, innit? But it's only recently it's been changed. You know, and now it's not
Listen,
PFA.
going up against a big corporation,
That's why you get stainless
is
steel.
damn near impossible, and that's why most of the time, really, what your lawyer tries to do is position themselves to just take a plea deal, a settlement early. But if you really want to take them to court, they can basically find a way to railroad you, and you run out of money to fight the case, and then you have to take a settlement anyway.
Yeah. It's true.
But that's why they say justice delayed is justice denied. But the lawyers have tricks in how to fucking delay it.
Yeah.
You know,
Because it's a game.
so
Deuteronomy 16 and 19, thou shalt not wrest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift. For a gift doth.
And that's another thing as well. That's why this world is fucked up as well, because it's all about justice for hire. If you can't pay for justice, you don't get justice. Because your lawyer's not going to stay with you till it's over. If you can't pay him, he ain't staying on the case. He don't give a fuck whether it's just or not. This is what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's wrong because if they know, if you know this is fucked up, man. Because let's be honest, what the DuPont's doing is fucked up, right? You would fight that case forever. Well, as long as it needs to be. You wouldn't care about the money side of it, because if you care about justice, you're a lawyer.
yeah, but
You
the
get
lawyers gotta eat, bro.
I guess.
That's
But the lawyers are eating,
this-
innit?
and
The
this
lawyers
is-
are eating.
But this is the issue. When you go to get your lawyer's like thinking, right, like if this is gonna take time is money. How much time I got to spend on this case and it ain't going nowhere? I still got my family to feed.
This is why the priests they kept fed, man.
Yeah. You basically have a system where, again, it's all men's have to eat. It's a reality. What are you gonna do? You're gonna spend your life fighting a case, but then your wife leaves you because you ain't paying the bills.
That's what happened with that guy with the Teflon.
The whole family
Yeah,
structure
of course.
was getting destroyed.
This is the reality. Like, you have to decide, am I sacrificing my life for this hell to the I wouldn't. I'd be like, listen, bro, you better pray.
And
You better set up some curses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I need to fight a case I can win and get paid out here. You know what I'm saying? But this is the reality of the system they've created. Because it is a system for hire. It's a system based upon the more money you have to fight a case, the more chances you can win that case.
I have a quick one. This is Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people.
Yeah, and even with these companies, they go into the third world, and that's even a bigger flipping thing, because they could go over there, and this is the thing, because they set up a system. What people don't realize is, you look at this passport bros from here, understand the reality, because some men don't understand reality. The reason why that woman is treating you like you're the biggest king there's ever been is because you're coming from a place where your value is you might as well be a millionaire. You understand this? Like, it's not because she actually thinks you as a person is this great person. You represent the same thing as a millionaire hair represents when he goes out. And gal are like, that's what you represent if you go to if I go to a third world country on my salary, I know gal are gonna be looking at me like I'm a whole snack. And it ain't because of my good looks. Because there'll be man from that country that look the same as me that she ain't gonna, she go, "Ah, that's just done." But with me, she's like, oh, papi, I'll do everything for you. Yeah, that's because your money over there can go a long way. You could buy people out for cheap. It's cheap. This brother would tell you, man. You could buy people out for cheap. Now imagine you're a big corporation. Now imagine you're a big corporation. You go over to one of these countries now, and in that country, if I give you 100 grand, it might as well be me giving you 100 million.
Yeah. Like a big thing like in Ghana now is the gold mine. How you have the Chinese and you know Ishmael coming in and just going to villages and destroying land, infrastructure,
and they bribe man out for cheap.
They just bribe local politicians. Like even if you're leaving Ghana, you're coming out of the airport, it actually says on the sign, like, if you're found with illegal gold, it's wrong for you, basically. But guess what? It's still passing through.
Yeah, because guess what? Like I said, it's the same thing with the passport bros. Yeah. The reason that girl is giving you play and you're just flash $10, is because for her the $10 is crazy money.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, like this guy could make me live a lifestyle I never dreamed of. Like, well, it's no different when that guy comes in with a briefcase and he goes, yo, we want to do this, this, and this. It's gonna F these people up, but you know what, man? Sweeten the deal. Here's 100 grand. Now, for the man giving you the 100 grand, that 100 grand is nothing. That's part of the investment. Yeah. They're gonna make that back tenfold. Yeah, no, not even tenfold. They're gonna make that back 1,000,000 times. Yeah. But for you, the man is so long belly. That 100 grand makes you live in your country like a king. Man are taking that 100 grand and selling out their people. And this is what they've been doing for years. Because it's easy to get people to sell out when they're impoverished. You can get a man to sell out everything he's got for what for you is damn near nothing.
Well, the scripture says that a gift of strength for heart. Yeah.
It's crazy. So imagine these mega corporations, what they've been doing and in the third world to be able to pollute it. Yeah, let us pollute that river. I know it's gonna kill a bunch of people, but here, look, here, hold this 1 million, and we'll make sure that your children get some places in Oxford University. Boom, 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 and man, that million makes you now a big don in your country. You man are taking the money.
But Jake's the problem. Yeah.
You know?
Because I was on the passport, bro, I was speaking to my cousin. He was telling me a story about when he was in Colombia. It was basically, he was in a taxi with this other guy, this other Westerner, basically. And then there these two locals in the back. What he then found out was a boyfriend and girlfriend, a husband and wife. But she still was putting it on the other guy, the other foreigner. And he was okay with it because he was like, babe,
money, yeah.
Hey, do what you're going to do.
Cameron had that thing. He said when he went to Colombia, and man, the bad bees, and they were like $25 for the night. Yeah. He said he loaded up the truck and gave him an extra 25 on top.
I guess so. Sometimes to ensure you have good.
Yeah. So that's a measure. Now you come to the UK now. You can't just slang around $25 and get me out to do anything.
You can't get
that ain't looking that, you know.
Well, it's corrupted, police corruption as well, as an example, because it's like here when you go to like Zimbabwe, for instance, a policeman earns like I think like $80 USD a month or something.
That's crazy.
I'm like that.
So how much to bribe him up?
Yeah, if you give him $3 like let's be
real.
real.
That's the equivalent of having to give a police officer here, bro. You can give $50,000.
You can give a whole year's salary, bro.
For real.
You know what I mean?
So then think about the corruption that Edomites can do with these countries.
Yeah. Well,
think about it.
On the ground is good. Like I was just checking it out to verify. Remember that? I believe in the 90s. Remember in India, there was a power plant leak, gas, and bare Indians died in the village. It was just, and then it was just like, you know.
Was it Nestle or something?
Something like that.
Because Nestle do a madness in the world as well.
Yeah, and they can. And at first I said, you know what? Let me research the company. Who owned the company? It was an Edomite from fucking Babylon.
Yeah, of course.
That owned 49% of the company, and the rest was for the Indian public. And there was a leak in the village, and it was just people just dropping dead, bro. Like what they say, there was like over.
What was the name of it,
the Bhopal.
Yeah, Bhopal. That's what BHOPAL.
Yeah. Disaster, 1984, right? And it says basically 500,000 people was affected, and 2,259,000, well, 2,259 people died. Which
No, these sorts of
but prime example, remember the Twin Towers? What they say? How many people died?
Oh yeah, 3,000.
3,000. So that people might read this today in history. Oh, that's just a gas killer. No, there was a lot of people just losing sons, losing mothers.
Yeah, and it would have been cheap for them to pay for that to go away.
Yeah.
Very cheap, and that's why they do business over there in the third world, because they can basically take advantage of the impoverishment, man.
One of the things we touched on earlier on is Esau will then look at the third world, be like, oh, why can't they do better? It's not. The elites have kept it that way so that they can continue to rape and pillage, man.
Yeah, but people don't realize like everything is a microcosm of itself. So the same way I can go to Colombia, and over here I'm broke, but if I go to Colombia, I could just take advantage of most of the women there easy. It's the same way the company can go and take advantage of your policemen and take advantage of your politicians, because the money I'm offering them is too good to be true. It's like, wait, hold on. Bro, remember when Bacoli, what we were doing the numbers of that?
He was smiling, man. He was smiling while he's in the ring.
Man can't lose weight. So then what was he getting? 300 grand or something?
600K.
600K. And we was like, yeah, if you take that back to Congo, you might as well be president.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? 600K in Congo? 600K in Congo? You living like a fucking... That's life. That's like, you would have to... The equivalent would be having to get like 600 million here, maybe. You know, it's a different... You can't buy out a man here for cheap. But over there, relatively speaking, it's cheap. And it's sad. This is what happens.
Right.
You know?
These are the kind of countries where people's monthly wage is like £200.
Yeah.
£100. Like, for real.
And if a man don't play ball and take the bribe, then they can... There's another thing. There's a cheaper way to get rid of them too.
Right.
Because one thing that's cheap in them countries is getting someone whacked.
Right.
Man, there's man out there that will take nothing to get rid of someone.
Oh, well, remember though, it's like last couple of months ago, Boeing effectively killed the whistleblower, man. And then that just got... Remember, he just mysteriously died in the car.
And man had to pay, you know. Listen, if you want to get someone whacked in a third world country, it's not going to cost you millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Shit. Sometimes it costs you a meal. I mean, get someone...
and that happens all the time. But you got to look in the smaller news to find it, where there'll be an activist fighting against Coca-Cola, and some local thugs came and just shot her up 20 times. You know what I mean? Yeah, because Coca-Cola, they got a fixer. It's called a fixer, the middleman. And the fixer will go contact the local gang and then make the price. And the price would have been something that you'd think, nah. Yeah, man gave the fixer, you know, 50 grand. But the fixer ain't paying the man 50 grand to do it. He probably paid him like 2 grand and took the rest just to make sure things were smooth. That's how the game goes.
Ecclesiasticus 13:3. The rich man has done wrong, and yet he threateneth widow. The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also.
Yes, that's the way of the world, and it's blatant to see. You know, if people really look into it, like a lot of these big companies, they set up in these third world countries, don't even pay tax. They don't even pay tax. They set their company up where they're like a shell company of another shell company, and then they've made an agreement with that country through bribes that they don't pay tax in that country. So imagine.
Puerto Rico, isn't it? Like, isn't there a whole scandal in Puerto Rico?
Probably man have their thing over there. Yeah, that's what that guy Mark Rich. If you go and look up the Mark Rich scandal, that's the biggest tax evasion scandal in the history of America. And he was pardoned by Bill Clinton, right? He was wanted, like on the most wanted list for his tax evasion. And if you watch the documentary on what they were doing, that's what they were doing. He had his companies, mines and stuff set up in Africa, but they weren't paying no tax in Africa, and they weren't paying no tax in America because they would do some shell company business where the company ended up in Switzerland, and they were just keeping all the money. So imagine, yeah, you greased off a few African politicians with barely anything. You ain't got to give them a lot. You give them their children a couple places at Oxford Circus, and you draw them like £1 million, which is nothing, but for them that makes them a billionaire where they're from now. And now you don't pay no tax in their country, and you paying their workers damn near nothing. There's no health and safety because you paid man off, so you don't have to have no health and safety shit. So you just winning. Look it up, Mark Rich. Yeah, the biggest scandal in America, and he got a presidential pardon.
Habakkuk 1 and 4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth, but the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
And every time Esau gets mad when he ain't getting his cut.
Mhm.
You know, when America is not getting his cut or whatever. Otherwise, he would just be, you know, they wouldn't bother with him. If you're doing it to the Africans, you know, do what you want. But America, they at least need to get their cut, right? And so you become an enemy. They come hunt you down, innit? But you know, Esau's always been doing this.
Habakkuk chapter 1 and 4. Therefore,
And by the way, Mark Rich is still a billionaire now. Yeah, he's still got bare peas. Yeah.
it says, therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
That Mark Rich is a perfect example of how Esau operates in the world and enrich themselves. And who loses at the end of the day? The people from them countries, the American taxpayers, so their man could be billionaires. And then when he got caught, he still got away with it. Because Salakia, they did an interview with a prosecutor, and the guy on the other side he said when he was on the phone to the other guy, the guy was like, okay, what can he do? Can he come in and we could talk about this? And the guy is like, bro, this is the biggest fucking tax evasion in the history of the United States. He's going to fucking jail. That's what the guy said, bro, we're prosecuting.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, no, but can't we just, you know, can't we just like, he was trying to find out like if he could just talk his way out of it, yeah? And then he went wanted, and then he was in Europe. While he was wanted in America, he was in Europe just chilling with all of his rich friends. And this guy's a criminal, but he's just chilling with all the other billionaires. And yeah, I'm wanted in America. Yeah. And then it took so long for the whole thing to be resolved. The man said he got a phone call, and the phone call was telling him, oh yeah, it's over. Bill Clinton just pardoned him. That was it.
Okay.
Presidential pardon.
Yeah. But you know, Esau likes to make an example out of Jake, though.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Wesley Snipes, he went to jail for fucking tax evasion.
I was gonna say that sounds like two-tier policing to me.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't ostracized by the Europeans for what he was doing. They didn't say, oh, he's a criminal, he's dirty, he didn't pay his taxes. They were like, yo, my nigga, why's that? You know, whatever. That's how they was.
Because that's one of the things that he used to do. It's like they'll give Jake longer sentences. Jake's more likely to be wrongly in prison or stuff. Even when the whole stop and search, Jake's more likely to be stopped and searched. All of that. So they've been.
Jake the face of scamming, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
bro,
come
Jake
on,
is
man.
the face of drug dealers. Did you see what they did to the Chinese?
Yeah.
Bro, don't get me that.
But Esau's doing something on a mad scale that we can't even comprehend.
No, the actual wars with the British and the Chinese, that shit blew my mind, bro.
The Bank of England is a scam. Listen, you go to it's talking about Nigerian scammers. You go to the Bank of England, it goes through the history of the Bank of England and how they have to take out all these other banks to become the Bank of England because it's a private bank. Right? And then you just get to the point in the story, it was like, yeah, we came off the gold standard. And it's like, you understand what that means? It means people had money, gold, stored in the bank that are no longer entitled to that gold.
Yeah.
They just like, you can get this paper though.
Next time.
It's spent.
The biggest theft ever, bro.
That's theft, bro. Man's had that note was supposed to be like, yeah, I can go and exchange for this gold. Now you could know, which is mine. Now you can't. The man's literally said, no, you can keep the note and go spend it. But that
The gold, which is a real asset.
the gold's gonna have its own price now.
Yeah.
We're gonna manipulate it.
That's the biggest Nigerian scam.
Wait, was it Nigeria British colony anyway?
Yeah, man, Esau's like Esau's the real Nigerian.
He's the biggest scammer.
You're the nigger.
They fucking scammer.
Yeah, because rich is not comely for a nigger. That's just
Was you finished on reading?
Oh no, I had something new.
Okay. Oh, you was in 10. So, yeah, let's go.
Back in Psalms,
Yeah, this guy's a demon, man.
Yeah.
But he gets away with it.
Yeah,
He gets
yeah,
away with it. Like all these big banks. And one guy did, I forgot who it was. Oh, it's one of them actors from Wales. And basically he found out, that you could write off people's debt, like the debtor companies buy your debt like for like 10% of the value, and it's really gone, but they just take it. So he just said, so wait, you're telling me for 100 grand, I can go and buy £1 million of people's debt for 100 grand. So he did that. I forgot the name of the guy. It was one of them actors, and he actually went and done that. He took 100 grand of his own money and bought £1 million of debt, and just said, okay, that's it. And all those people were now free of their debt.
wow.
So for 10% of the value, he bought their debt off and cleared it.
Wow.
Damn.
Showing the whole,
All the scam, man.
he exposed it.
Michael Sheen.
Let me see the face.
I'm just looking at different names in it. Michael Sheen. I'll type in Michael Sheen in it.
I don't know if it's I think he was the guy from, I'll know the face if I see him in it.
This dude?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, Michael
Yeah, he done it, man. He's a real dude.
Yeah.
He went and
That's for like,
and he did that for like families that were just down bad, innit? Like each man was, them families that they're underwater, but it's not by bare money. So he managed to help out bare families with 100 grand, £1 million worth of debt just wiped out because he owns the debt now, because he's bought it for 100 grand. He just said, "I forget it."
I don't need 100 grand back.
Yeah, he didn't need it. It was an act of charity, innit?
so you get these so-called billionaires that will try to claim philanthropy, but really what they're doing is, they're washing money, right? When you're looking at certain of these good deeds, at these so-called good deeds that these guys are doing, it's really just a money washing a process. Whereas that, like, man, you didn't get any better.
A lot of it is government agencies too,
Yeah,
doing ABC work, child trafficking and all sorts, under the guise of non-profit. Say, okay, let's go. Yeah, that dude, he done a solid. Hey, you want to buy some of my debt off, man? All that at your door, man. You'll be blessed for that.
Go buy a new car.
You go and buy your own debt back for 10% of the value, back, and then just forgive your own debt. Yeah, because that's what the banks do. When they pass your debt on to someone else, they sell it for a fraction of the money because they really fractionally reserved you that money anyway.
So hold on then. So let's say that those same numbers, right? I gave that money to somebody else to buy it, and then they can declare it from me, innit?
Yeah, if they can go through the process of being a debt, you have to have the money to put down. There must be some process that it has to be a significant amount of money, because that's what the debt collecting agencies are. They put together a certain amount of money, then they buy the debt from the banks and that, and then they chase you for it, but they've only bought it for 10% of the value. So whatever they get from you is bare more, because they've only put in 10% on it.
That's why
That's why the debt collecting agencies, they're pricks. They make a lot of money. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the game. So whenever you owe a bank money and they say, okay, we're gonna pass you on to a debt collector, because they can't be bothered to chase you.
Don't care. Numbers,
so they'll write it off, take 10% of the money from the debt collecting, and then just write it off.
Yeah, because it's 10% they may have never.
But then now you owe that debt collection agency, and they're gonna collect on it, but they only pay 10% of the value of the loan for it.
Yeah, they could get the whole thing.
So if they get the whole thing back from you over time,
90%.
plus interest, that's made, bro. They've 10x their money, easy.
Bro, this man's dope.
Yeah, but my man, he did a solid, man. So big up my man. He did.
Yeah, this man's dope. Psalms 10 and 3.
You won't see one of these rappers do that. You know what I mean?
Don't fucking go to the hood and give out shoes.
That man could do that. That man have got 100K on a damn necklace. They could do that. They could set up an agency and pick certain families. You can apply for it. That's just had a bad way, and say, listen, I'm gonna write off that debt for you, man. But
shit, the government could do it.
Give man some.
That's all these schemes that they put money in, man.
But they don't want people to know that's how the game works. Because really, the bank didn't lend you real money. That money was, when they loaned you that money, it was credit that was made at that moment in time based upon them only having 10% of that value.
True.
You see what I'm saying? Bro, the whole thing.
And they're always gaining on your money with the interest that they got on it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah. I'll take the piss.
Nigerian.
They say on the interest, on the interest, you would have made that money that you would have owed them already, but they still want the money from you. Bro.
Nigerian.
Real quick, this is Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight.
Yeah, man. A lot of this madness that's in the earth just goes back to a false balance, man. They've created a false reality out of value and money. When anything that's valued ultimately should be able to be valued in something that's cold and hard. You know what I'm saying? Why for that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It should be valued in something that actually has value, substance, and not just created out of thin air, imaginary. It's alchemy. It's really alchemy, man.
Well, if that means that it be so, in it.
Yeah, it's witchcraft, man. Yeah, like I've only got 10 grand, but I'm just gonna lend you 100 grand, and then you can actually take that 100 grand and go buy things. What the hell's going on?
That's wild.
This is magic, bro. You putting rabbits out of hats, really?
The book of Psalms 144:7. Send thine hand from above, lead me and deliver me out of of great waters, from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their light hand is the light hand of falsehood.
Falsehood. This whole system is false. It's all lies, and the more you learn about it, like I've said, I've been doing some research, watching a few things going into Ted Bundy, and it's like I always knew about Ted Bundy and then guys, but when you really look at the details of it, you're like, oh shit, how did I not notice? None of that made sense. Like half of the murders they said he did, it wasn't him. It obviously wasn't him. The descriptions were all wrong. No one could even pick him out in a lineup. That's because it wasn't just him. He was part of a cult that were performing these rituals. And then he just happened to be the scapegoat. Like, okay, it was just one of us. Yeah, it was all him. And then they put it out in the public, and he's guilty, and they get you to focus on this one guy, when in reality it was a whole network of guys.
Say with the Pizza Gates and that kind of stuff, they just focus on an individual.
Yeah,
it's going way as well. You know,
really, it's always a network behind these kind of activities, man. You know what I'm saying? Jeffrey Dahmer, the same thing. He was linked in with MK Ultra program. His dad was doing some spooky things with his mom and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of spookiness around Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's questions about how he was getting money a lot of times to do the things he was doing. Because certain times he weren't working, but he's got money. Yeah, because it was other people involved. You know what I'm saying?
And that's big. You talk about like the that was the word you used, scapegoat.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things Sabrina shows you is that there's certain people that are willing to be the scapegoat for the cause.
Yeah.
There's like for the cause, it's like I will sacrifice myself,
yep,
you know, for the furtherance of this agenda or whatever.
And some of them are actually mind control program dummies. Yeah. Split personalities, and then when they interrogate them, there's gaps in their memory that they don't remember certain things. Because they're what's his name was like that? Sirhan, the guy that supposedly was meant that killed Lee Harvey Oswald. And even when you go into the research into Lee Harvey Oswald, right, there was a woman there in the polka dot dress. Yeah, she was a trigger for him. Right? And every year that woman, the man that knew the woman, every year on the anniversary, she puts on that same dress. Bro, there's a lot of but the MK Ultra program is a real program where they were splitting people's personality and programming them to do certain things, man. And it's all linked in with what? Occultism, witchcraft, zombieism.
But they don't do it no more.
Yeah.
you know what? When you haven't even admitted it in the first place, like
it came out in the documents that they could split a person's personality and have one half of you be communist, right? And the other half of you knows about the half of you that's communist. Like, so you're a double agent, so they could slip between characters. You're like the perfect double agent, because when you're playing the communist, you're fully believing in everything you're doing. Like, you're a Manchurian candidate. They have that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is Psalm 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search both the inner thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
When you go into that MK Ultra mind control programming, they have various methods. You got trauma-based, so molestation, rape, violence, right? The use of images. That's how they show you the thing where they open your eyes and show you bare images, yeah? Which is now everyone's walking around with that in the damn hand. Yeah, traumatize you. LSD. Remember, LSD came out of the how to use drugs to control people, to coerce people, the hypnotism. You know what I mean? They done all that, man. And then, so you see a lot of shit you see, man, it's false, it's fake. A lot of these people are drones and they're on TV talking like you don't know what to believe nowadays. They'll tell you this guy came on his own and he did this. It probably wasn't even him that pulled the trigger.
You guys like Alex Jones, isn't it? You know, just don't know shit.
Like it's still spooky to this day. That whole Lee Harvey Oswald, it wasn't him. He didn't pull the trigger. And then they had another mind control zombie kill him. Crazy.
Crazy.
The same dude that shot at Trump. It's like, what? How the fuck did that even happen?
That was another MK Ultra, and they got loads of these dudes walking around. The Manchurian Candidate. That's they made a movie about it to desensitize people. That's a real thing.
It's real.
You know, because
and all nations have got them in different places.
well, it goes back to the ancient world, and that's why when we was talking about earlier that Esau's not doing nothing new. Where'd you get the term zombie from? The Haitian priests will turn a person into a zombie and make them a slave. Through what? Mind control, through voodoo, put spirits on them. That's what Esau's doing. Esau's just using, like there's a drug in South America called dragon's breath. I don't know if you brothers ever heard about it. And basically you blow it in someone's face and then you can basically tell them what to do, they do it. It's called dragon's breath. Yeah. You heard of it?
No. So I heard of an account.
That's how Arteta's getting the sign and that dead project.
There was this one of basically she wanted her daughter to keep giving her money and stuff like that. So then basically she did a little, I won't say it on camera, did a little thing, a little hocus, and then basically when they had like a family intervention, right, the daughter, so my cousin, she was like, wait there, how come mom was just like this? Like it almost in the spell, like she wasn't even in the room. And it was like, yeah, okay, that's what, when she was, because my cousin went into the bedroom and saw Nan doing certain things. Like, why are you doing that in here? Right? It didn't make any sense until after the fact.
It sounds like, the movie Weapons that come out recently.
Yeah.
That's exactly like that.
They're basically showing you the type of stuff that they do. Yeah. And with children too, a lot of the stuff starts from childhood. They get these people from childhood and they do these rituals on them, and they got split personalities, man. You know what I'm saying? And they have certain triggers that can put them into certain personalities, and they'll just flip on you. You know what I'm saying? And then they can flip them back. They got handlers and shit. A lot of these Disney kids.
Yeah, Disney kids. Even it shows you that. Remember Kingsman?
Yeah.
Where they turn up the signal.
Yeah.
Now what's interesting, I remember the brothers was going into it, of an operation called Crimson Mist. That was during the remember that movie Hotel Orlando. There's like information, brother, of like the states testing out like high frequency weapons.
Yeah.
Where people who were actually involved in murder, like, bro, we do not remember.
Yeah, it's spooky. Even one guy said the devil was telling man to do it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them people were neighbors. Yeah. And they put out that it was a radio broadcast, cut the tall trees and all that shit. And then man started killing people.
But it's it, because we see Esau do these experiments with the animals, the bulls, controlling signals in their brains, the rage and that kind of stuff. And that's Esau can do this. So when we talk about it, it sounds spooky, but Esau actually has done this and can do this.
He's doing it today with the food.
Yeah.
But
Chemically.
yeah. So but there was you can look it up online, man. They did an experiment in the prison where they changed the food and violence went down in the prison.
Yeah.
So it makes you think, okay, so for instance, you're hearing about the folks who say GMO babies. Them GMOs, they're eating them, they're going crazy.
Yeah, there's a book called Black Awakening by Russ Dizdar, and he was going into the government records of how they have got people that's under the programming that they can send a certain signal out there and they just start going crazy and killing people, man.
Yeah.
And they could use that than to justify certain things, man. So anyway, let's carry on. We're getting
they clone Tyrone. Remember, they was there, now it's gonna go in circles. You know, the bit when they're in the club, right? And then they basically all of the Jake start all going around, spinning in circles and hypnotism, right? And then when it was like, okay, got a problem, and they made them go into rage.
Yeah.
And then you think about the stuff Jake be listening to when they go nuts to ride on the ops. What are they listening to?
Yeah.
Demons jump on you, man.
The food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were talking about that high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
It's actually linked to rage. And they've actually done experiments of
Like them niggas start
Yeah.
taking them drugs, and them voices, them demons start telling you everyone's out to get you.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You know what I mean? It's like,
That's them demons, man. Yeah, that nigga talking about you.
yeah, no,
Niggas is over there just chilling.
bro, I can't lie. You know that video we posted in the chat the other day, this simulation of schizophrenia.
Oh yeah.
That bugged me out, bro. I couldn't watch it too long.
Yeah, there's a guy that
tripping me out, bro.
I was watching. I forgot what was his name. He's got a Jewish last name, but basically he was a psychoanalyst in prisons, working with schizophrenics, and he was saying whenever they do schizophrenia, all they want to do is drug them, and they tell them that the voices they're hearing are not real, it's just you, right? And he said he started saying, "Oh, what are the voices saying?" And then he got into trouble because you're not allowed to engage with the voices. And basically, long story short, he found out that they're all hearing the same shit, yeah, and the voices, it's like they feed on negativity. Like, and the voices are telling them bad things about themselves, bad things about other people, and they just try to drive them to do evil, drive them to do madness and violence, especially the paranoid schizophrenia. And he was like, yeah, it's just it's demons. It's basically just demonic possession, like legion, because it's multiple voices that they don't leave man alone. And he said the voices will break man down. They'll make it where you can't sleep, and it will break you down until in the end you'll do anything to stop the voices, and they'll be like, take your eye out, or flipping jump off a bridge, and then you just do it because you're broken.
Yeah, well, my cousin that passed, remember that time, so after the camp, yeah, my cousin that passed, he dealt with that. And there was one time he said he heard a voice of another family member talking about it, whatever, and he smashed his car. He smashed his car, smashed my aunt's house.
Yeah.
It's like,
Them demons, bro.
it's them demons, man.
Anyway, where was we? Psalms 10.
Oh,
yeah. Getting into the spooky shit.
Yeah.
Close up.
It was like Psalms 4, and then I finished that.
All right, go back to Psalms 10, and then
To Psalms 10 from 3. But the wicked boasted of his
the world's spooky, man.
Yeah, it's spooky,
There's a
man.
lot of things in this world that Esau doesn't want people to understand and to see as it truly is. A lot of, like we were reading before, a lot of this world is based around false narratives and an illusion. And when you start seeing the world the right way, it really involves a lot of spookiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really early, man. They said, say, who shall see us, man?
Yeah.
There's a lot of they don't want people to know that schizophrenia is really demonic possession. They tell you it's just a chemical imbalance, and the guy said, okay, but they can't test for that.
Yeah.
There's no test for this chemical imbalance. So what are you talking about?
Where's your reference?
There's no reference for it. They just say that so they could give you these chemical lobotomies, which basically
Drive you in a trance.
it does remove the voices, but it really just destroys your brain and dumbs you down, innit?
Yeah.
You know, and he was saying the voices, fucked up. He said the voices tell them when they're on the drugs, stop taking the drugs. The drugs are poisonous. They make you sick. And just drink alcohol instead, or take weed.
That's what I feel like. No,
bro.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
My cousin got so intelligent with how to hide taking the drugs. We used to have to physically watch him open his mouth, make sure it's gone. Because that guy was storing the drugs he been given.
And he said when he asked them, he said, "Is the symptoms of having the voices worse than the symptoms you are when you take the drugs?" He said, "No." He said, "Then why don't you just take the drugs?" And he said, "Yeah, the voices start telling me that you're poisoning me," which they are, but they are poisoning them. But then the only reason the demon's telling them that, so you stop taking the drugs, and the voices come back stronger. Yeah, man, it's fucked up, man. But anyway,
because Esau's taking away that spooky, because then if you start speaking about, okay, no, those are demons, then people are gonna be like, okay, so if the left hand is real, then
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
there is a higher
People's
power.
eyes start to be open.
But
isn't it?
that's why you had Wilder went down the ayahuasca shit, man. And
Fun like a
them
Beyblade.
demons, and they always see, most of them see the same demon. It's like a dragon or something that they see when they take that ayahuasca shit. Yeah, because them drugs can be a portal to opening up the spirit world.
Yeah.
That's why you see sometimes these crackheads and that, man, they see things and they fucking they bug out, but really they might be seeing the spirits and shit,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? That shit will fuck you up.
Nah, for real. Like these things, like the herbs and certain things that can be used for righteousness and wickedness.
Open up your mind, man.
Remember in Tobit?
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
the lady that was vexed with his wife, where she was the demon was jumping on her. It was
Asmodeus.
yeah, like Asmodeus. Remember when they burnt? I believe it was the gall of the fish. It just exercised the demon left him.
Demon out.
You know what I mean? And then you had Saul with his demons. King David played the harp. It's like vibrations, herbs. You actually truly don't even know the effect.
Bro, you got phantom limb. You know the one where the limbs your hands just doing random shit. It's a demon, man. That's
yeah.
Or you get, come on, man. You got people that just do crazy shit, like eating rocks.
Yeah.
The demon's making you eat rocks, man.
Oh, that's fucking grab that real quick. That's Sirach 25. What's
You know what I mean? Just doing
Adrenaline as well.
demonic
To
things.
make you just do some supernatural shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man. It's crazy, man. Yeah, there's a lot of spookiness. We go in, but don't try going into that stuff if you're not ready, because you end up getting seduced, man.
Mm-hmm,
But them demons will seduce you, man. Have you out here looking like Merlin and that?
Even that the Most High dealing with you.
Yeah.
Righteousness is straightforward, man.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Righteousness is straightforward because all these other, remember, like it's a straight gate. I mean, it's a path of difficulty, but that's the path to salvation.
Well, the scriptures don't tell you to go practice.
Yeah,
these things, you know what I'm
that's
saying? It tells you to worship the
But
Lord.
we have to know about these
Yeah.
things because
For the right,
we got to be on the level, like, to understand. But
you know,
a young brother come into
Yeah.
this thing, you got to learn these
Yeah.
scriptures first.
Get your foundation.
Start studying the occult.
why I was saying that as well is because these fuckers in the world, to them, spiritual. I'm spiritual.
Yeah.
They got like, which obviously the gemstones, the righteousness, the priest will, you know what I mean, keep God, you know what I mean. It's basically like an extension of the power of the Lord essentially upon the earth.
Yeah, because a lot of the sciences, like
Mhm.
ley lines, and
Yeah.
there are places on earth with certain energies, and all that, but they're trying to use it to their own end.
Yeah. Oh, you know them people. Like I'm spiritual, so
Yeah.
go do witchcraft.
Yeah.
No, there's righteousness is spiritual. Like even really the most spiritual thing that you can do is pray in the name of the Father and the Son. That actually trumps all, hanging upside down, and the 900 the gemstones and
Yeah.
99 sages. You know what I mean? Really, obviously, brothers do that right. I'm talking about people in the world.
Yeah.
They try and make it their whole personality.
The demons still
Yeah,
come, man.
the demons are still fucking with
Yeah.
you.
Because they're not doing it in the name of.
They ain't doing it in the name of the Lord.
They're doing it some other. Yeah. Because they said, I'll be real. There's certain things I was hearing my mum's. They'll be like, yeah, I did this. I'm just like, you just judge. I'm just like, you're just doing judge. But it'll be like, oh, but the pastor said. In my mind, I'm like, yeah.
Enough of them pastors are doing judge.
Yeah, exactly.
Them man do judge to get their congregation.
Yeah. So like, let me grab this. Sirach 25:13, which is talking about the demons, right? It says, give me any plague, but the plague of the heart, which is going into the mind, right? It says, and any wickedness, but the wickedness of the woman.
Yeah, so the plague of the mind, man. Like, that's horrible. When the guy was describing, like, what, because they can't sleep. The voice is just. So a lot of times they have to drink bare alcohol till they just pass out just to try and get sleep. But if you don't get sleep, you're getting worn down even more, and they just getting on you, and they'll chat shit about you. You know what I mean? They just put you down constantly to talk bad about your family.
That's why the scripture says, give me any plague.
Yeah, but you don't want bad voices all up in your head talking shit. It's bad enough on the internet. Yeah, man. Imagine that, man.
Yeah, for all people have committed suicide.
Yeah, just
getting
comments
bad
on the internet.
comments.
Imagine this in your head.
You can't turn it off.
Can't turn it off, man. Yeah, that guy, man, he was breaking it down. Yeah, you don't want that paranoid schizophrenia shit. And a lot of men smoke weed and end up with them demons on them, man. Oh,
Psalms 10.
Psalms 10.
Psalms 10 and 3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord Yahweh abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, would not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
Yeah, this world don't care about the Most High. Don't care about the word of the Lord. Trump is the Messiah. Trump don't mention the Bible not once. Only thing Trump mentions when he speaks is America, Biden, because he can't help it. He has to always, invoke the left-right paradigm. Himself, yeah, because if it, I'm so great and blah blah blah, and that's it. You never hear him say, because you know what, yeah, I'm doing this because in Leviticus 20 and it says this, blah 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 blah. You never hear man actually referencing the Bible in any way to any of his actions ever. But he was meant to be the Christian Messiah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to. I'm going to heaven.
Made the Bible great again.
Yeah, but he don't bring nothing out of the Bible.
God.
You don't
bless
consider
America.
the Bible in any situation.
He didn't even swear in on the second time.
Not one proverb. Man don't even bring out a proverb in a situation and say, yeah, the proverb says this about this particular situation. They don't do none of that. The Most High in these people's thoughts, man. They don't give a damn about what the word of the Lord has to say, and that's why they're gonna run into a car crash. Go on.
Yep. Goes on to say, verse. It says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He had said in his heart, I should not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
Yeah, that virgin daughter mindset. Starts off with Babylon, but Esau as a nation, he really don't feel like he's ever been down.
Yeah, which is what when you remember what Matt Walsh was saying, I was thinking about it. So when he said that, it's because he's like, well, who's going to take us down?
Yeah.
If you thought there was a semblance that someone else would take you down, you wouldn't say, oh, just because you can.
But they don't understand that the spirit is against them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a great power.
Yeah.
So if the word of the Lord is against you, you're cooked. You know that, like, because it's gonna manifest itself.
Yeah, and Cain clocked that. You know when Cain did the murder, he was like, oh shit, I'm fucked. Because at first he thought, okay, yeah, no wicked, I'm gonna take him out. But then he got caught, and then he got essentially cursed.
Yep, and that curse is still gonna come down today.
You know what I mean?
On these damn devils, man. They don't understand it because they think their technology and their witchcraft is sure that it's gonna save them. But like we were saying, you could get spooky all you like, but no one ain't more spooky than the Most High.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got it. Remember the
creator of
yeah.
The top spooky. The Most High.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the ultimate spookster.
Yeah,
He runs this whole spiritual.
Yeah, it runs it
thing.
all.
You man up dabbling in George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dagon, the temple of Dagon. Remember when the Ark of the Covenant came there? And then it was before Dagon, and Dagon kept falling. And then the next time, his fingers or his head was off.
Yeah, that's just because I was thinking about the Ark of the Covenant earlier on, talking about the different, because Gutteruts are in our land. But I was thinking about the story where the Philistines took the Ark of the Covenant. They were getting messed up, man. And I had to bring it back. I was like, look, man.
Yeah, because the Most High is at the top of the spiritual hierarchy. But Esau thinks that he doesn't understand that he's the Most High is the source of all things. So he thinks he can use the spiritual, he could jailbreak life, basically.
Like
how you jailbreak an iPhone and make it work how you want to work. No,
he's borrowing spiritual power on the left hand side.
It ain't gonna work. Like I always say it, man. The shit works till it don't work. That's when you find out that the Lord is the ultimate trump to all of that. The word that thus saith the Lord, there's never been a time when witchcraft has overcame thus saith the Lord. Never. It's never happened. If it has, then show me where, because you might say, well, Esau worked witchcraft, that's why he's ruling. Scripture says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the Lord allowed Esau to do that.
Yeah.
Even the Babylonians, they worked heavy witchcraft, right? But what did the Lord say to Nebuchadnezzar? That I raised you up. Like, you're in power because of me. Like, yeah, you might have working your witchcraft and all that, but really, I'm the one that put you in.
And after he bugged him out.
Bugged him out. Put them deep.
Put him schizophrenia.
Put a beast demon on him.
Beast demon on him, and he's like, oh. And then even, you remember?
To a fairy.
Yeah, remember?
That's bad.
Yeah. And then you remember you had the writing on the wall. Like, you know, remember those all chilling, bro. It's writing on the wall. That was bugging you out. Imagine you're just in your crib
And then it manifested.
and it manifested that night.
And you know what? That night, think about it. Yeah, that was the end. When you're in power, right?
You're looking at that.
Everything feels good.
Yeah.
You winning. It's like you know, like when Arsenal was at top of the league for like 90-something% of the season. Like, you feel like you got it in the bag. Like, everything's blessed, isn't it? Right?
I was placing bets.
You know. But guess what, man? It's terrible because that writing on the wall is powerful. Because not only you went down, but think of everything that entails. You going down. Your wife probably has to be now a prostitute. You know what I mean? When I get killed left, right, like your whole life just spirals, man, from that moment. Bro. Just down the drain, like no. You know, like when Anakin was on roll. The Lord, hey, listen. If you want to talk about spookiness, let the Most High curse you. Then it gets spooky. Look at us, bro. Go on World Star Hip Hop, yeah. If the Most High put a curse on you, you have you out here looking black. Like, hey, my grandmother always just say prayer is worse than witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yo, if the Most High really put a curse on you, for real, you pray that a voodoo priest put a curse on you.
Yeah.
Because the Most High will mess your...
Yeah.
But if the Lord bless you, no curse can come.
There's no greater power that can undo it.
Yeah.
And that's the example with Moses and the Magi, man.
Yeah.
There was no greater power than the Most High's power.
Yeah.
So the Most High decided to do something. Who can force the Most High to take it off? Nobody.
Remember, and they could bring the frogs too, but they couldn't take them away. So that thing was the Temu. That Temu thing.
Limits.
I've got one after you, bro.
Yeah, we're going to close up in a minute.
This is book Psalm 63:3. Say unto Most High, how terrible art thou in thy works. Through the greatness of thy power shall thine enemies submit themselves unto thee.
And that's how the Lord's gonna humble the earth. Like, now, like we're supposed to worship him. We're not. Yeah, everyone's gonna know. Everyone's gonna know the power.
The Lord's gonna them chariots when they show themselves, man. Them spiritual beings, spiritual, and people really find out what was really going on out here. The whole paradigm of the earth is going to change. The whole narrative. People going to understand there was always a great, terrible power far beyond what man could imagine that was ruling over this earth, man.
Verily thou art power that
Hide thyself, man. And this guy Esau weren't it, man. This little fart sniffer wasn't the guy. He wasn't the guy, man. You thought he was the guy, but he ain't really the power. There's a power that created the heavens and the earth. That's an unimaginable power. Yeah. That's an unimaginable power that's beyond what our own mindset could even comprehend as a power. It's far, our brains can barely encapsulate what the Most High is, because you think about it too much, your brain starts hurting. Like no beginning and no end. Yeah. Your brain can't even compete no beginning, because all you know is beginnings. There's no. So what was
how did it be? How was it?
Your nose will start bleeding. It's like trying to think of how big the Most High is. Like, your head might just blow up, man, trying to compute that.
Second Ezra 8 and the 20th verse. O Lord, thou that dwellest in everlastingness, which
what the hell?
Beholdest from above things in the heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the hosts of the angels stand with trembling.
That's why you got no answers, man. You're still trying to search out the meaning of beginning of life and all this. Like, you're just trying to find it. There's not enough data centers on the earth that you can hold it.
Look, man, just
you're still trying. You down here trying to generate power.
Man.
You're trying to generate power. The Most High is power, man.
Power, bro. Bro, just give praises, tithes, go on your forklift.
He did research.
Yeah,
he's trying to figure out stuff. Most High already knows how stuff.
Gave you a style for you to run.
He knows the depth. He says that he knows the depths of the sea.
Yeah.
The stars of heaven. He knows all of that. But you're trying to figure out shit still. Because you're like this. You're a little worm in the scheme of
everything. We can't make something that is not already prepared to be made. Yeah. The Most High made. That's it. There were no atoms. He made what you know as an atom. You might take an atom and stick them together, but in order for you to stick them atoms together to make something, that means it had to be able to do that in the first place.
Yeah.
Which means it was already made to be. It's like an egg. An egg, you can fry an egg. Yeah, because that means it was already made that you can fry it. We don't already make nothing. The Most High made everything the way it is, man. You can't think about that level, man. But that's why Esau, you're gonna go down not as the highest IQ, but as the lowest IQ, because you try to come up against the Most High. That's insanity.
Because when you were saying, when the Lord cracks in clouds and everyone understands, that's what it says in Wisdom 5. We fools account like his life matters. Because people are then going to be like, wait. So there's a God in heaven. This is all real. And and those are his people. And we did what to them?
Yeah, that's when they knew.
Their boots, man.
This moment.
Yeah,
man.
I've got Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power.
Yeah, because there's nothing you can do. There's
no
no witchcraft. Like you see all these people on TikTok doing their tarot readings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know one thing, listen, you know this for truth. There's never been a man. Listen, Judge, we're not gonna say it don't work, bro. I told you, man will work the judge, and man are shooting at them and see 5 of them and all sorts, man. Bullets will pass through, man. I get it, but then you hear man died.
Yeah.
How did he die?
Yeah.
Why are he dead for? I thought he done the judge. Yeah. Because the day that the Lord actually says is your day, there ain't no amount of judge. There's no amount of judge. If the Lord says you're going to die today, today is your day, the death angel, because the Bible tells you, it's spooky. You know the Bible tells you about death angels. Yeah. It says they're on earth. Hold on. Let me get that scripture real quick. Go and get that.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 8. There is no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit. Neither have you power in the day. So you can get power from different places. Left hand power, place you can get power from. And you can put a armor plated suit on. Be Iron Man or some shit. Like these things can't help you when you're dealing with the Heavenly Father. Your best laid plans don't mean nothing to him.
Yeah, like even remember with the Balaam and Balak. Just cuss them, bro. Like, look, man, I cursed people for you in the past, but these man, I can't do it. Look, it's like, I can't.
Yep.
He's like, I've done.
And that goes into the MOTB. Yeah. He ain't gonna be able to trip the elect because we've already been bought by the Lord, and it's already secured that we're gonna be delivered, man. Lord willing, we're of the elect. So even though Esau's doing all the sacrifices necessary to establish his new world order, it's gonna fail because there's not enough sacrifice. You can sacrifice everyone on the planet, and you're not gonna get no new world order because it's not the will of the Lord. It doesn't work like that.
It was written. You do like the clip that you posted. And when that couple was like live streaming in a restaurant, and it was and a bam, the car came in, man.
Hey, look,
them off, man.
This shows this is spooky, right? This is when you read Sirach 39, and 28. It says there be spirits that are created for vengeance, right? So these spirits, their man's work is to mash work on earth. Yeah. It says which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force. So their power is to cause destruction by various means. So they could jump on an animal, they could jump on a person, they could jump on a car, like Final Destination, and make shit happen. Yeah? It says, in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, right? Serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. Listen now, it says they shall rejoice in his commandment. So these spirits, they love to do their work. They love it. Like they love when they get a bit of work to do. The Lord's hitmen, they love it. Oh, I could run today, and they're always running. It says, and they shall be ready upon earth, meaning they're always around.
Yeah.
This is what is it says right there. They shall be ready on earth, meaning they're ready. So when your time is up, they just get to it. Yeah. So they're about here, man. Spooky.
Remember King David? The plague.
Yep.
And then the angel had to get. Yeah, the Lord had to hold him back
because he was there, ready to. He was smashing work, man.
It was right there. Bro.
And when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So there's a time, there's a need and a time. And when that time comes for you to get got, yeah, it don't matter about the obey. Because that demon, or that death angel could tell them demons that's been protecting you, yeah,
Chill, stand down.
Stand down, son. You know it's my time right now. This is from the big man,
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
he was like, look, bro.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah.
You see that when Yahweh was in the scene, the demon was reacting to Yahweh. You know, oh, well, you're troubling us. You know, but yeah, you send that Michael, you know, whoever, and they're going to see the man going to be like,
Yeah.
Look, man.
Oh,
Take my part.
yeah, it's true, you know, innit?
yo,
oh, like the demons I put on the bag on, so like your house shine, all I know.
Beat the shit out of
Like the demons.
they have a hierarchy, man.
Yeah.
There's an order even in the spirit world of different things, man. So them death angels, man, yo, when it's time for them to put in work, they just gonna get the job done, and they don't. You can't buy them out. You can't. They just come and do the job.
That man steps on the job here, you're relieved.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So when Esau's acting like, hey,
We'll take it from there.
it's spooky out here, man. That's a part of the spirit realm. Is very much a part of this realm. It's just that, and it has power over this realm. It's just that people don't see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like on the Matrix. They show you had the machines that's working behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but even then, said people they don't acknowledge it, but certainly still impacts. So at certain times, you be walking and someone would just like kind of half bug out around you. Or it's like there was one brother who mentioned where it's like they'll be walking past the car and then the guy in the car would just do that.
Yeah,
it's
for
like,
real.
whoa.
It's like
You
Fallen.
know?
Fallen.
Yeah.
That's right. You remember that Denzel film Fallen, right? Fallen.
And these people, they got demons on them, man. Because guess what? A lot of things they do puts demons on them.
Yeah.
Like they go to these certain concerts or they get certain tattoos on them and they don't understand. They open themselves up for demons to come into them.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
So fine thing the other day. She looked like she was one of them regions between like East Asia and Southern Asia. It was like one of them nice. Your place. She had like a kimono, but it was more like an Elamite style on it. Then she turned around, saw her arm. It was a demon. Like she legit had a demon tattooed on her arm. I was like, oh shit, right? She doesn't understand that was invoking spirits upon her. And then as the guy, you can't be like, I ain't gonna touch you then.
Yeah,
trouble.
We're in trouble already, is it? You don't want demon tattoos and shit.
I mean, you gotta stay away from these people, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna close up with that, man. You know, hey, call hello. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers out there teaching, of course. Shalom to you brothers.